Hello, hello, fellow gamers, and welcome back to Phalantus Plays. Today we are watching the live stream reveal of Kalguur, Settlers of Kalguur for Path of Exile. Yeah, today is going to be a chill day. We're just going to react to everything that's going on. I'll probably be pausing and talking about stuff. We have our special orange juice. Very special. So today's going to be a really chill day, and we're going to see if we're going to be sticking with Toxic Rain or if they made any huge changes to the game. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here we are. I will fast forward through the rest of this stream starting. 2 minutes. All right, hold on. Here we go. Let's go over the agenda for today.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from
Hi,
Grinding
Chris.
Games. Welcome to GGG Live. Today, we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile Settlers of Kalguur, which launches next week on July 26th.
Yay!
Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Corsair back attachment. In today's stream, we will take you on a deep dive into the new Settlers of Kalguur Challenge League.
Cool.
We'll cover the league mechanics, its new and revised crafting systems, a new trade market system for currency, some sweeping balance improvements, including 2 Ascendancy class changes, and...
Hold on. There's gonna be new crafting? Wait. I wanna really...
Welcome to GGG Live. Today, we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile Settlers of Kalguur, which launches next week on July 26th.
Oh, hold on a second, I gotta fix one thing real quick here. What? Why did that happen? Okay. There we go. There we go. Now I'm looking the right direction. Okay, hold on.
And yet...
Notes. Our new Settlers of Kalguur Challenge League.
Okay.
We'll cover the league mechanics, its new and revised crafting systems,
New and revised crafting systems.
a new trade market system for currency,
A trade market system for currency!
some sweeping balance improvements, including 2 Ascendancy class changes,
Oh, please. Please, Gladiator, Ascendancy change. Please.
endgame improvements, some further additions to the campaign, and some
Oh! Act 2 and 3 campaign changes.
quality of life features. We'll then talk about our console native port releases and the features that come alongside them. Finally, we'll show you our new supporter packs, ending with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile's game director, Mark, your questions from Twitch chat. After the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes.
Nice.
I'll hand over to Mark now to introduce the new league.
We're really innovative with the content in this league.
Hi, Mark.
And I'm really excited to see what everyone thinks. So let's just get right into it with the trailer for Path of Exile, Settlers of Kalguur.
The trailer. Grinding Gear Games.
Rayclast is a cursed land.
Yes, it is.
You'd have to be mad to settle here.
Utterly mad.
And yet... Welcome to Kingsmarch!
It's a new town! King's March.
It's not much yet, but with your help, we can erect the greatest city Rayclast
It's a city builder?
has ever seen. We'll need resources. And savvy planning.
What? No, I'm gonna miss this league. No. What?
Soon we'll attract
It's a city builder. I love city builders. And I'm gonna miss the whole league.
settlers, craftsmen,
Recombinators are back!
fortune seekers. And of
Oh, it's how they're gonna do all the old leagues that they haven't implemented yet.
course, pirates.
New endgame, new bosses. Okay.
But
What is this? Prepare shipments.
if we prevail, our ships will be heavy with gold. We hope to achieve the impossible. We hope to build.
Ah, big hype for new league. Yeah, got him. Oh, but I'm gonna be there for I'm gonna be there for league start, but the whole next month and a half, I'm gone. I'm gonna be on vacation. Oh, it's so sad. It's such bad timing.
A home.
I haven't seen anything yet. Respec with gold. Oh, this is what they're doing. Oh, this is what they're doing with gold in Path of Exile 2. Interesting, I think. Yeah. No more regret orbs. What? What? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Oh, but you can buy... Oh, you can get Orbs of Regret still. Automatic trading! For the market ratios! No more trading for all the different crafting orbs! Oh my god, Auction House got them. At least for, for currency, I'll take it. If not for items, fine. Currency? Oh, thank God. Warden Ascendancy class. What? They're changing the Raider to a Warden Ascendancy class? Oh, cool. So they're like putting all the different Wardens into the Raider. Ooh, that's interesting. Yay! Gladiator rework! Yes! I've been wishing for this for like 3 years. Melee League. Endgame improvements. That looked like the that looked like the Wildwood there. Oh! Sentinel is back? What? Oh my goodness! What are those things? Okay, that trailer was too much. Oh my god. I feel like last league they made a lot of changes to the gameplay, but this league they're making a lot of changes to the trading and stuff, which I think people are more hyped about, probably. Well, let's see where this goes. So much QOL, yeah. Really good to see you, Gotham. Really nice to see you.
In Path of Exile Settlers of Kalguur, you will encounter some familiar faces from the Expedition League. Danig, Rog, Tujin, and Gwenin are Kalguuran people who are trying to establish trade between Rayclast and their homeland.
Trade!
They have recruited many curious characters from Rayclast, including some you may recognize, but are also seeking help of a powerful exile, like yourself.
Cool.
You will first encounter Johan, the King's Hand and Lion Eye's Watch.
Yes.
He's there recruiting workers, traders, and exiles. Johan, under the command of the King of Kalguur, has been sent here to build a new city called Kingsmark.
Okay, so Kalguur must be some other place.
Which intends to become the hub of commerce between Rayclast and Kalguur.
Yeah, okay.
Soon, he will
Trade
bring you to the
league.
planned
It is a trade league. It's a super trade league.
site for Kingsmarch.
Oh, look at it.
Which you'll notice has humble beginnings as just a tavern in a field. But with your help, it won't stay like this for long. It takes a lot to build a town. The Kalguurans will ask you to seek out resources that can be used to begin construction.
Okay.
On your adventures, you might find minerals such as crimson iron, which are veins of iron that have been overrun with corruption, spawning dangerous foes when you approach.
Okay.
Or perhaps orichalcum, which you will have to liberate from the demons worshipping it.
Ooh.
Petrified amber attracts mindless, blighted enemies.
Also, they're like incorporating all the different league mechanics into this too.
While bismuth has a strong affinity to the elements and causes the area
Oh, that looks so much like the Kalandra
to become
stuff.
unstable. If you're lucky, you might find vericium, a material as valuable as it is dangerous, and guarded by very powerful foes. Once you
Okay.
defeat these monsters, the deposit will automatically be tagged for mining. But first, we need to get someone to do the hard labor. This is, of course, a trade expedition and nothing is free. Miners, along with other workers that the Kalgurans have hired, must be paid in cold, hard gold.
So we're dropping gold this league, gents. We're dropping gold.
Which you'll notice is now dropping throughout Rayclast. You will have control about who gets hired into your enterprise.
Cool.
Once you have accumulated some gold, head to the town and talk to the recruiter, Rolf. He's been busy tracking down
Okay, so you gotta get good workers too. Can you fire them?
folk
I hope you
across
can fire
Rayclast
them.
who are looking for work. You'll notice each person has their specialties and a wage cost. It'll be up to you to hire and fire as you please.
Cool.
Over the course of the league, you'll be searching for your perfect employees for each job. Once you have them, you'll have to keep them paid, safe, and alive, which we'll get into later. Here we have
Okay.
a prospect who has a specialty in
It's a
mining.
little ominous.
We'll start with that so we can begin to retrieve some of those resources we were talking about earlier. Let's go find some more and put our miner to use. Oh, we've found a vein of orichalcum ore. It's guarded by dangerous demons worshipping a strange shrine.
Okay, so it's a
The
little
shrine
bit like
buffs the demons, giving them power. But once you defeat them, you
like
can
one of the
seize
circle
that power for
mechanics, or
yourself.
like one of the monolith
After
mechanics.
that, we can tag the ore, and our mining specialist
seem
will
too
get
bad.
to work.
Okay.
Soon, we encounter a few more deposits, each with a different dangerous encounter.
Oh, did you see that gave him gold too?
After you have tagged the mineral veins, your miners will get to work collecting resources in real time. They might take a while, but will continue whether you are logged in or not.
Oh, nice.
The work can be sped up by hiring more or better miners, and by upgrading the mining station back in Kingsmarch to equip them with advanced pickaxes. Alright, some time has passed and our
you
miners
gotta
have
give
been
them good
able to get the
equipment, too.
resources back to town. We've also managed to collect some more gold too. We can now upgrade the town and build new structures. There's plenty of options, we just need to decide where to start. I think we'll start with the tavern, the beating heart of Kingsmarch. It can be upgraded instantly to improve the recruiter's prospects.
Oh, that's a good
and
idea.
you can find
yeah.
various important NPCs relaxing here. Next, we'll upgrade our mining station.
You notice he just kind of glossed over that. Various important NPCs gathered there. Why are they so important?
You can upgrade this to improve the efficiency of your miners and allocate our newly hired workers to mining. You will eventually need a smelter, where you can send your ore to turn into more valuable bars. Then we have the Disenchanter, where you can bring your magic, rare, or unique items to be added to a queue to be disenchanted over time.
What? Disenchanted?
The items will be broken down into thaumaturgic dust, a new resource used for crafting and shipping.
Okay, so now we're getting gold and thaumaturgic dust.
We'll get more into that later.
Okay.
And of course, a town needs food. You could invest in farming, where you can select crops to grow and harvest. But don't worry, you won't be manually watering anything. Ah, the wonders of delegation. With all these resources piling up, there will be excess that we can spend. Let's talk about rewards in Settlers of Kalguur.
Yes, let's.
Eventually, you can build a harbour and establish shipping routes between a number of different Kalguuran and Karui ports for trade.
Okay.
You'll be able to pile your acquired resources onto these ships and send them to a port of your choosing, where your traders will haggle for the best deals.
Good.
Each port will return specific rewards based on what you send them.
Oh,
They
okay.
accept all types of resources, but will have a preferred type that they'll currently pay more for.
I see.
And you'll want to get onto this, because eventually you could be bringing in shipments like this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Wait a minute. Holy yeah, it's a whole nother game. A whole nother game inside the game. And look at this. Like, look at all those uniques. Is that a... That's a possible squire. That is a squire. That's a squire. And look at all this currency. That's crazy. A Vanguard belt? I don't even know I don't know the stats either, but wow. So you could potentially get a mage blood from one of these shipments. That seems like, and you can just sit in your town and just gather, well, no, you got to gather resources. Oh, I wonder how this works in group play. This is so interesting.
This?
Okay, a bunch of contracts. Nobody cares about, but look at all the currency. Whoa, so much currency.
Or even this.
Okay, a bunch of items, calms there. So 3 tabs of loot. Oh, look at all those scarabs.
Today, we're going to trade with Kalguur.
All right.
You'll notice that as we send more resources, this risk meter creeps up.
Okay.
Much like the dangers on the shores of Rayclast, there are dangers out at sea.
Pirates!
Monsters, pirates, environmental hazards. You'll want to try keep your shipment safe. You can do this by hiring workers that specialize in shipping. The more of them you add to the ship, the less risk there will be.
Ooh, interesting. So you can have workers that gather resources, but it looks like you're at 10 max workers. So you're going to have to choose between gathering resources and shipping resources. If you can trade, it'd probably be good to have multiple people. If you can trade these resources, then maybe, yeah, I don't know if you can, though. It'd be good
like
to have
this
different
gentleman, who's famous for fending off even the most dangerous of pirates. Now let's get that shipment going, and we'll continue exploring Rayclast while we wait for its return. This is the first Path of Exile League that experiments with true, real-time mechanics. You can send out shipments, go and have lunch, and come back to your rewards.
That's cool.
Many mechanics in the league work this way.
That's very
nice. So you'll
nice.
always have some ongoing project or outcome to look forward to. When your shipment has returned, or met its demise, you'll get notified, and at your leisure you can return to the town to collect your rewards. Our shipment returned safely, so let's go see what we got. Ooh, they've sent us a unique item.
Yeah, that wasn't planned at all. Edna's Stand, studded belts. Regenerate 44 life per second. That's not bad. Requires level 52. Meh. 21 fire, 21 cold. Gain ward instead of 50% armor and evasion rating from equipped body armor. Huh. It gives you ward. That might be a strong middle, like, step up. I don't know, though. Nah, you're probably just going to want more life. It's got pretty good regen. Not that good a regen, though. Yeah.
Alongside our rewards.
Meh.
Perhaps hoping to secure us as a loyal customer for the future.
Maybe if you have something for, like, a breaking ward or something. That might
Aside
be
from
nice.
shipping, the Kalguurans are big on their technology. They have hired Isla, a familiar face from the Heist League.
Nice.
She is an engineer who the Kalguurans have employed for a very exciting purpose. You're not the only one who understands how profitable running maps can be. Once at endgame, Isla can help you build a series of Kalguuran modified map devices.
Ooh. What?
You can then put a queue of maps into them. If you've hired a few skilled Atlas runners, they will put themselves to work running those maps for you.
Oh my god! They're automating the game. That's automation. That's 100% automation. That's crazy. You're going to be able to make so much currency this league. Holy Jesus. You might get, I might be able to get even coming in a month late, I might be able to get a mirror in this league.
One after another. Look, more delegation.
Actually, this might be the perfect league for me. If I can find a computer to set things up, I might be able to just go in each time, delegate stuff, and buy new maps and delegate stuff and just gain currency that way for when I come back and I want to play. That's crazy.
You'll be notified when the rewards are ready to be collected. You can put lots of maps in the queue, so don't feel obliged to go back there all the time. Be careful though. The difficulty of the map impacts the risk of your workers perishing.
Yeah, you're not going to want to run super hard maps with these. You're just going to want to have them running constant currency in the background. Yeah. I mean, obviously you're going to want to balance, but you can give your guys items and stuff.
Try to pick your best workers, or perhaps just ones you don't like. Consider the difficulty too. Sometimes it's better to just run it yourself. You'll see there are many benefits to having a whole-ass town at your fingertips. Let's talk about crafting services. You should definitely consider building a runesmithing table. This is operated by Danig himself, using powerful Kalguur blacksmithing arts. He can engrave runic magic onto your weapons using runes. There are many rune types and combinations
they're tradable
to choose from, and you can unlock new crafts that can be applied to your weapons as enchantments. Our design intention here is to take powerful effects you would usually only find on unique items, like this modifier, which you might recognize from Doomfletcher's Prism.
No way! They're letting you put unique modifiers onto rare weapons? Holy that's insane! For people who don't know why that's insane, it's because most of the time, people only run the uniques for like 1 or 2 of the modifiers, usually the special modifiers. And if they could run a rare because of the better resistances or other stuff that's better on rares, they would, but because of that one modifier, they can't. Now that, whoa, builds are going to be so OP.
Danig can apply it to your 2-hand maces.
Whoa.
There are over 100 different special crafting outcomes, ranging from ones very easily applied to very difficult.
I'm sure they really went through it so nothing would be too broken, but...
The rune types can be acquired through trade with Kalguur.
Look at that. Has no physical damage, has 100% increased elemental damage. Is that a prefix? That's got to be a prefix, right? Otherwise, Ellie bows are insane. Gain 30 to 50% of weapon physical damage as extra damage of each element. Each element? That's 150% increased damage.
Or defeating powerful bosses.
Or more damage, 150% more damage.
The Kalguur
Wait. Minions deal 30% increased damage? I mean, you can just put that on a bunch of... What can you put it on? I mean, I don't know. 30% increase is pretty good. Adds adds lightning damage. Socketed Vol skills have 100% reduced soul gain prevention duration. What? Free Vol skills? It's all Vol skills. So that means defensive ones too. Trigger a socketed fire spell on hit. What?
Very difficult.
It's so crazy.
The rune types can be acquired through trade with Kalguur, or defeating powerful bosses.
Okay, so trade or killing bosses. So they're going to be rare. Those are going to be the moneymaker this week,
benefits
for
don't
sure.
end there. We're also bringing
Those are going to be a big moneymaker.
back a formerly overpowered crowd favorite, Recombination.
Nice.
Isla is trying to master this. She just needs you to help her with getting resources.
Oh, look at how much gold that is, though. 48,000. And then, oh, that's the disenchanting dust stuff for the recon. So recombinating is going to be... Oh, there's going to be some crazy stuff happening here.
The system isn't as strong as it used to be, but it still allows you to combine 2 items together, hoping to get the best modifiers of each onto a single item.
What did you get?
Between running a town, shipping, and
Understandable.
exploring,
Has to be toned
you'll be
down a bit.
collecting a lot of extra gold. It is now the primary resource for 2 huge new quality of life features that we are putting to test.
All right.
Firstly, you can use gold to respec passive points. This is a
Okay.
feature from Path of Exile 2 that we've decided just makes sense to port back.
Yeah.
The higher level you are, the more expensive it gets.
Okay.
And the next one is absolutely massive.
But they still
A
have regret
currency
orbs.
trade market.
So,
The Kalgurans have recruited Faustus, another NPC from the Heist League.
nice.
He allows you to asynchronously buy and sell currency and most other stackable items with other players without the nuisance of price fixes and people who never respond.
Oh, thank God.
All you need to do is select what currency you want, say what you have, and your ideal ratio.
That's
It works kinda like a real-life stock market.
awesome.
Faustus will make the trade happen for you.
That's going to be tough, though, because, okay, now I tried to do this a long time ago. People who are going to really benefit from this system are ones who price all of their currency in, like, different kinds of currency. So you're going to have, like, 6 or 7 different kinds of currency for your chaos orb that you're trying to... Chaos orbs you're trying to sell, or divines, or... stuff like that. So if you can get a bunch of different stuff up, then yeah, it might be it's gonna be beneficial. Because somebody's gonna have, like, I don't know, a bunch of engineering orbs, and then they were gonna, well, who wants engineering orbs? Never mind. But like, people want to buy fuses for alts or something like that, right? So
long as there is someone selling on the other end for the same rate or less. You'll be able to go back to blasting monsters while trusty Faustus does the dirty work, notifying you when your currency is ready for collection. All you need to do is pay him a small amount of gold for his time.
oh,
Cards-
so it's not free. They still have a little bit of friction.
On the table, this is an experiment to see if this type of asynchronous trading has a place in future Path of Exile releases. We're very excited to see how it goes.
I hope so.
Now, given that Faustus is an expert in black market trade and shady deals, he also provides another service.
The black market.
Offering items for gold. The items will generate with random rarity, and on average the modifiers on them are better than normal. This can be a very nice way to get some targeted items.
That's gonna be nice early league. This, maybe. Yeah, probably when you after you kill Katava for the first time, that'll be nice to go here and try to get some upgrades. Also, when you kill Katava the second time before maps to try to fix your resistances and stuff. Yeah,
during the campaign.
that'll probably be good. Useful
For
for
serious
that, but...
crafters, it can be a great starting point for making those elusive, specific in-game items, which perhaps you could take to the runesmith afterwards. It's worth noting that you can invite Faustus to your hideout, where he will always be available for respecking, currency exchange, and black market items.
Yay!
As your town grows, it will attract more attention, good and bad. Settlers of Kalguur features 3 endgame bosses that will close in on your operations,
Cool.
wanting a piece of the pie. They might capture and ransom your workers, even your entire ships. You'll have to make some tough
That looks
decisions.
badass.
Will you take them on or pay them off?
Oh, you
One
can pay
example
them
of a
off.
boss is Sasan, the Bandit Lord. You won't stumble across this boss by accident. Instead, this unsavory character can come into your town at night and take your Atlas runners hostage, holding them for ransom.
Oh.
What happens next is up to you. Perhaps you'll refuse to negotiate with bandits, leading to a fight to defeat Sasan and rescue your workers.
You can't negotiate with bandits.
If you're not up for the heroics, you might simply pay the ransom in gold. Or perhaps these workers were especially disappointing. and you'll just leave them for dead in true Ray class fashion.
Well,
They knew what they were signing up
do
for,
that.
right?
They do. Yeah.
Of course, the heroics might be worth it for other reasons. These bosses can drop new unique items.
Nice. What is this? Girded Tower Shield, 17 to life. Armor's good. Ward. Oh, they're putting more ward on stuff. That's nice. Armor and ward. Minus max chance to block attack. Minus max chance to block spell. Chance to block is lucky. Ooh. Trigger a socketed elemental skill on block. With a 0.25 second cooldown. Huh. Oh, interest. What a weird shield. What a weird
In sum, Settlers of Kalguur is a very experimental league with new mechanics that will completely change how you play the core game. We've been sitting on a lot of these ideas for a while and can't wait to share them with you.
Nice.
But there's a lot more to this expansion.
Okay.
Let's talk about balance.
All right, so as far as the league goes, the most efficient way for you to be doing things is to having all of those automatic miner stuff built up. Whoever gets all that stuff set up first, automation set up first, they're going to have an overwhelming advantage in the league. So I would definitely go for that as soon as possible. If you don't like city builders, if you don't like trying to set up automation stuff like that, then you're going to be at a disadvantage, because that getting currency without actually having to do work is going to be too much of an advantage for people. Yeah, I'm not sure what the return rates on the rares and stuff are, or in the uniques. But yeah, that's going to be pretty insane. Especially for the runes are going to be the big money maker. Some of those are going to be worth more than divines, probably, or at least like half a divine for one, because of trying to get uniques onto specific pieces of gear, especially for endgame stuff. And building up your character is going to be pretty big. But good news, if you're not so good at the game, this is going to be a really big boon for you, because you can automatically make currency. Don't have to worry about doing the strategies optimally. If you work a full-time job, the game will work for you while you're working. I like this. I really hope they take some elements of this at least. I don't think that they're going to take all of it and put it in the main game, but I hope that this doesn't go away, because I think it's going to make it much better for people who are like working stiffs. Get them a little bit easier access to the end game. Anyway, let's continue.
Well, we've finally rebalanced the gladiator. It's been a long time coming.
Let's see. Hey, how's it going, Cecilia? What's up? Yeah, we're just checking things out for the next league, which I'm gonna be missing most of, but I'll be there for league start. We're just checking out Gladiator. It just popped up. I'm really excited for Kalguur. I think it's gonna be really awesome. How do you pronounce it? Alicilison. Oh, okay, I got it. Alicilison. Nice to have you here. Gotham and I have been just checking things out. We're gonna let's go over this Gladiator Ascendancy. Gain 50% chance block from equipped shield instead of shield's value. Inherent bonus from dual wielding are doubled. Oh, nice. Sounds good. All right. Alice. Oh, okay. Alice. Very nice. 50% chance. So block. Block. This guy's going to be able to block. Plus 3% chance to block attack damage. Chance to block attack or spell damage is lucky if you've blocked recently. Ooh. All right, Elise. Oh, okay. I do play more games. Here, I will, I'll turn that down for now. Or maybe, hold on. Let me see. Not that one. Oh my goodness, hold on. Sorry about this. I just need to get this sound system thing set up. There we go. Yeah, I am. I've got a wife and a kid. And he's a little guy. So I don't have a lot of time to play games. More than most dads, probably, because I'm only got one kid. But where is the notifications? There we are. Notifications. Okay. That should help. Yeah, just one son. He's 5. Me and him are going to America with my wife later on. I live in Taiwan, so. Okay, so chance to block is lucky if you've blocked recently. So more if you take this, if you go this route, anything that you have like a block, like cast on block, damage on block, anything that does stuff on block is going to be awesome. That means that the all those reaction skills with block might be good. There might be actually a build with reaction on block, especially if tattoos are still available. Oh, I don't know if they are. We'll see. We'll see. 5% increased attack speed, attacks at 50% causing bleeding. Bleeding enemies you kill explode. 20% of their life is physical damage. 20%? And it's just automatic. Bleeding enemies you kill explode. Bleed bow? Bleed bow? Bleed bow? Okay. But wait, it's not showing these ones down here. Okay, bleeding you inflict is aggravated. Bleeding which has been aggravated always deals higher damage as though the target was moving. Whoa! That's powerful. Yeah, we're not seeing 3 of them.
Like before, there are passive skills that allow you to invest in bleeding and block. We've designed new skills replacing some of the old ones.
These are all way
like
better.
This, War of Attrition.
Increased attack speed, attack damage, deal 1% damage with hits and ailments to rare and unique enemies for each second they've ever been in your presence up to a maximum. So as you're fighting them longer, it does more damage. Great for bosses. Really good for bosses. It's a more multiplier. It's a more multiplier. Ooh, bleed bow. Oh, bleed bow is going to be really good.
Which is very handy for long, sustained boss fights.
Bleed bow.
Further alongside the gladiator theme, this new passive...
Increased attack speed, 10% damage, 20% more accuracy while wielding a sword, more area of effect. Oh, interesting. Automatic leech with a claw. Isn't there a weapon? Isn't there a way to get all weapon types? Isn't there there's a weapon that gives you all weapon types? And if you do, then it gives you automatic 20% instant leech, 30% more damage, more crit when wielding a dagger. It'll give you more crit, more AoE, and accuracy. I know there's a unique weapon that does that. Oh, and if it's a unique weapon, maybe you can enchant it. Oh!
It allows you to combine different weapon types while dual wielding to get a variety of powerful bonuses. For example, Holding a dagger will give you more critical strike chance, while holding a mace gives you more area of effect. Of course, you could just use Varanastra for all weapon type bonuses. And finally, we have a new notable which allows you to invest in the newly added retaliation skills. These
Yes!
are active skills which
Newly
require-
added? More retaliation skills? Retaliation skills can be used for additional 2 seconds. Increased attack and block. Oh, so basically you're going to be doing two things. You're either going to be going bleed, probably, or retaliation. And retaliation and block. And retaliation, oh man. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You might be better off going retaliation and block.
You to meet a certain condition in order to use them. Once you meet that condition, you can unleash devastation on your foes. Here we have Eviscerate, which requires you to have a shield. Or for those who like to dual wield, Sword Storm, which is great
Oh, new retaliation
for
skills.
obliterating bosses. Here we have the Divine Retribution skill. This one has the condition requiring you to block. You can then unleash a devastating spell,
That's insane.
causing lightning bolts to strike the ground in an X shape around your target location, doing huge amounts of damage. And of course, in true Path of Exile fashion, there are many avenues to invest in these mechanics.
Oh, they added new stuff. Crushing reply. Retaliation skills have increased stun duration. They fortify? Retaliation skills deal increased damage. Gain 10 rage on hit. Retaliation skills have 40% more cooldown recovery rate. Supported skills become usable for 20% increased duration. Oh, this is
further
awesome.
On the passive tree, and a new support gem. You are able to increase the leeway duration after meeting the condition, reduce the cooldowns, or just increase their damage. The world's your oyster. The Gladiator wasn't the only ascendancy class we've changed. As we develop Path of Exile systems, we often find ourselves reusing mechanics, increasing their depth, and allowing more avenues to invest into them. As such, the Raider Ascendancy class found itself lacking.
Really? Raider? I mean, it's okay. Raider wasn't bad. I mean, after they nerfed Lightning Strike, it got a lot worse, but Deadeye and what's the flask one? Oh, I'm blanking. I've had too much of my special juice. Oh, the sword thingy, they will mention it. Orange juice is, wow, I love it. Yes. Why don't you use panels for your description? It's very attractive. Okay, yeah, sorry, I turned off my notifications, so hold on, I gotta move this down so I can see it better. Ah. Panels for my description. Oh, I'll look into that. There's a surprise with the Warden Ascendancy. I'm looking forward to it. Pathfinder. It's already got, yeah, that Ranger already has Pathfinder and Deadeye, which are the two most used Ascendancies in the league. I don't know why they would need to really do. Can I help you with this? With the panels? Panels in my description. Oh, I'll take a look at it. Thank you for letting me know. I'll take a look at it for sure, man.
With many of its passives commonly available elsewhere, we want our Ascendancy classes to always feel like they're pushing the boundaries, allowing you to change your character in ways that are meaningful and ideally unique. As a result, we've straight up removed...
Yeah, my Discord should be in the description below. All you have to do is click on the button.
Move to the Raider. Rest in peace. And we've added a new class in its place, the Warden. This class is largely inspired by its predecessor from the Affliction League.
Look at all of those. Oh my gosh. It's so versatile.
With a few changes. The Warden now focuses on elemental attacks, changing the behavior of
shocks from your hits increase damage taken by 2%. You can apply up to 50 shocks to each enemy. 50 shocks? Oh, but it's only an increase.
Of shock, enhancing freeze.
Enemies you freeze remain frozen for 2 seconds. Freezing hits that do not freeze apply Hoarfrost, which increase freeze duration on enemies by 20% per stack. Freezing an enemy removes all stacks of Hoarfrost. Ooh, you might be able to freeze bosses with that. Sure. Give me a second. There you go. That's to my Discord.
And replacing Ignite with Scorch.
If you ignite an enemy, you scorch them instead. You can apply additional Scorch to each enemy. 2 Scorches? That's 60% resistance. That's insane. Whoa! Is that easy to access? That's the most powerful one right there. That's way better than the other two. 60% reduced elemental resistances. That's a more multiplier. That's crazy. Grants level 20 Unbound Avatar skill. Gain 1 Unbound Fury when you inflict an elemental ailment on a hit. With a hit on an enemy, no more than once every 2 seconds for each type of ailment. Your hits always inflict free shock and ignite while unbound. 80% more elemental damage. 80% more? Whoa!
You to go ballistic with your element.
That's... Deadeye might... I think Deadeye might not be the play. If that's the case. Just with Scorch and this... Avatar of Wilds? Yeah, people might switch from Deadeye.
Mental damage, periodically. The class also grants Barkskin.
Cool.
Which is a skill that can be used to mitigate physical...
Discord name? Oh, I see. I see what's going on here. Yeah, you can just... I'm Phalantis. So, you can just, try to text me. Yeah.
Damage from hits. After taking a number of hits, it increases your evasion, making it a great defensive choice. Finally, the last thing the Warden can specialize in is tinctures.
Nice.
These are an alternative to flasks from the Affliction League. We're
tinctures
bringing them
back
with adjusted mechanics.
Tincture effects linger on you for 5.5 seconds for mana burn on you when the tincture was deactivated, up to a maximum of 6 seconds. Tinctures applied to you have 30% less mana burn rate. 1% of your maximum mana per stack per second. Oh. Yes. I believe they're all small in my name. Mm-hmm. And I will also still forget to turn... Well, they act a bit more like flasks now, so they're going to turn off periodically, it looks like. Because there's no way you can have Because the mana burn stacks until you lose all your mana, I assume.
Tinctures can be placed
Wait, I missed the last one.
from the Affliction League. We're bringing them back with adjusted
Tinctures of Flux also apply to range weapon attacks. Yeah, okay.
mechanics.
Tincture effects linger on you. You can have additional. So you can have 2 tinctures active. Okay, so you gotta like choose here. It really depends on what they did with the tincture modifier effects. If they're the same, if they're different, what exactly is going on with them. I'd have to see more before I, really see what's going on with that. But just the Scorch, that's the craziest thing. Elemental, especially with that new elemental hit skill that they have. Yeah. Scorch. None of this affects Toxic Rain, but I think try Elemental Bows. Try LE Bows going with Elemental Hit. They're not going to go Deadeye anymore. There's no reason to. That Scorch effect is crazy. Ignites are okay, but if you're not focused on getting the damage over time, you just use the ignites to 2 ignites to lower the elemental resistances by 60%. That's a crazy amount of elemental reduction. If that's the case, that mask that doubles enemy elemental resistances is going to be great because it's going to be really easy to lower enemy elemental resistances into negative and then double it. So you might be seeing some enemies that have negative 200 LE resists this league, like bosses, like uber bosses even maybe. That's insane.
Tinctures can be placed in your...
Oh, here. This is my... Yeah. You can see in my... Okay, in my Discord, I am the guy who has the kingly thing. If you want, you can message me on Twitch, and I'll send you my private... my private account for Discord a bit later. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to do that on when I'm streaming. Sorry.
Belt. Replacing flasks. Back
okay, let's see
with
what this
adjusted
is, what's
mechanics. Tinctures can be placed in your belt, replacing flasks.
Mm-hmm. So
You
they
can
gotta be good.
inherently only have 1 tincture active at a time, and it requires a melee weapon to use.
Ah.
While activated, they
Now they're only melee.
grant a powerful buff.
Tinctures cause bleeding with melee weapons. Increase damage with bleeding from melee weapons.
They can drop as magic items, or be modified with currency to grant extra bonuses.
You can modify them. You can craft them now.
Here is a prismatic tincture. This one increases elemental damage by 100% while active. You'll notice it has 2 extra effects. One is that it applies mana burn every second.
Wait. So got him. So can you use tinctures if you're not the Wildwood Ascendancy?
Mana burn is a debuff that builds up while tinctures are active that causes you to lose mana, losing more mana for each stack. Tinctures also have a cooldown, so once you have disabled one, no other tincture can be enabled for a time. These changes make tincture use a more active and interesting choice than it was in Affliction.
That's awesome.
Both mana burn and the cooldown can be modified through modifiers on the tinctures.
Because look, here, wait. Let's go back a bit.
Making it a great defense. We're bringing them back
Tinctures effects apply to
with
ranged
adjusted
weapons.
mechanics.
Yeah, it looks like they just apply. Yeah, because This one makes it apply to ranged weapons, but otherwise it's melee only. Ooh, spicy! Melee people finally have something ranged people don't. Wow. In your face.
Tinctures can be placed in your belt. They grant a powerful paralyzed mana burn every...
Increased elemental damage with melee weapons. Isn't... Oh, it's only on, that means on hit.
Mana burn is a debuff that builds up while tinctures are active that causes you to lose mana. Losing more mana...
Right? Increase 100... Because if that's 100% increased elemental damage with melee weapons, doesn't that mean, like... I'm not sure how Ignite Chieftain works, but that would be kind of crazy,
for each
right?
stack. Tinctures also have a
If it
cooldown.
applied.
So once you have disabled one, no other
Melee
tincture
gems?
can be
Oh,
enabled
yeah, I
for
know.
a time.
I can't wait.
These changes make tincture
Take your
use
time,
a more
got 'em.
active and interesting choice than it was in Affliction. Both mana burn and the cooldown can be modified through modifiers on the tinctures or on the passive skill tree. Players will want to maximize their tincture uptime for sure. Here we have a couple other tinctures. The Poisonberry tincture is excellent for poison builds. The Rosethorn tincture is the choice for those wanting to deal critical strikes. You might be wondering, with the removal of the Raider, where has the Frenzy Charge investment gone?
Yeah, where?
We've added a Frenzy Charge passive skill to the Deadeye.
Ah, okay. That's how they buffed the Deadeye to make it so that it wasn't the only thing.
Replacing the Rupture passive skill. On top of Ascendancy classes, we have revisited a number of core mechanics. This time taking pains to ensure easy access through the passive tree, skill gems, and simple items.
Nice.
We don't want all the powerful mechanics to be hidden behind layers of complexity.
Okay.
Let's just rapid fire through the key points.
Okay, this is
If
gonna
you want more detail later, you can read the patch
This is gonna
notes,
be great.
which will be dropped after the live stream.
which we're gonna go through.
Be sure to let us know what you think. There's a lot of changes.
So this is, I think what's happening here is they're getting to the end of Path of Exile 2 development, so they put a bunch more people back on Path of Exile 1. And they're really trying to revolutionize 1. I think they might be in a little bit of an internal competition trying to make both games, like seeing which game can be better. This is going to be interesting.
So be prepared for a bit of a shock to the system. I expect it will take several days for the dust to settle on this one. Firstly, we've made some drastic alterations to melee skills.
Finally.
Let me just rip this band-aid off. Melee totem skill gems have been removed.
Thank you, Lord! Oh my god. Melee skill totems were the most awful thing for Melee.
We're trying to adopt a philosophy with Melee going forward that, unlike other builds, it will be far less oriented around set and forget gameplay.
Good.
You will deal the damage yourself, and you should be rewarded for doing so.
Exactly. Yes. Let me
To
slaughter my
compensate,
enemies.
We have buffed the damage on almost every single melee skill.
Good.
As the majority of this damage growth comes from gem levels, we have also made them
The gem levels!
cost more mana as they level, but it's nothing like the mana costs on spells.
Okay.
Here are some examples of the damage and costs before and after. Heavy Strike has gone from dealing 313% attack damage at gem level 20 to a
552?
massive 552% attack damage.
But it's only 2 1/3, 2.2 and 6, 2 and like, what, 3/5 more damage? That's, whoa.
It's also worth noting, it no longer knocks enemies back. And
Okay.
Sweep has gone from dealing 281% attack damage to now dealing 664% attack damage at gem level 20.
What?
These are just two examples, but the majority of melee skills are now dealing approximately 75% more damage at level 20. Of course, with melee comes close proximity combat, so you need some good defensive options.
Yes.
New base types with higher defensive values will now drop throughout the endgame.
Cool.
As you reach yellow, red, and purple maps, you can expect to find higher tier base types in each.
Legion plate.
For example, Val Regalia and Hubris Circlet are no longer the best in slot items for Energy Shield. There are
Twilight Regalia.
new base types that surpass them. Combined with some quality
That's going to be buffs to everybody in defenses across the board. So for tier 17s, it's going to be a huge deal.
You can now get better items than ever
Wow, those are all really big increases too.
before in these slots. To compensate, we have reduced the amount of flat evasion and armor from the Grace and Determination auras. But overall, you're getting more defenses than before.
I see. So they lowered the auras a little bit, but they increased the armors more at the end game. That makes me worry a little bit for the mid game. That's a bit of a nerf to the mid game, which is where a lot of people spend their time. Mid game is end of like the last 10 acts or the last 5 acts, and the first 5 levels of maps, basically. Well, 10 levels of maps, basically until you get to red maps. That mid game stuff is going to be hard. Well, it depends on when those armors start dropping. If they start,
On top of this, we have buff life modifiers on magic and rare equipment.
Ooh.
You can now get as high as 189 additional maximum life from a single modifier
Ooh.
on body armors.
Wait, what about the...
And more on other slots too.
Wait, what about the craft? Can you get more on the craft?
Kalm's Heart has also finally been restored to its former glory and once again grants plus 1000 to maximum life.
Yes.
I mentioned quality. Quality
That's insane, by the way. That might make Kalm's Heart good again.
on weapons and armors is being
Maybe.
changed to apply
At least in mid-game.
multiplicatively. In other words, weapons with full quality will give 20% more physical damage, and armor with full quality will have 20% more local defenses.
Good. More
For melee,
multiplier.
this will mean a damage increase for almost all builds using physical damage attacks.
And a defense
and it will mean
increase
more
for all
evasion,
builds.
armor, energy shield,
Yep.
and ward for all builds. Endurance charges no longer grant elemental resistances.
What?
But instead grant additional elemental damage reduction,
Oh.
making it multiplicative with resistances.
That's nice.
You can now get 4% per charge, alongside the existing 4% physical damage reduction.
Wow.
To compensate, we have made some changes to the Juggernaut, and various unique items like Eternal Damnation.
Okay. We'll have to look
You
at
can
that
get
in the
more
patch
maximum
notes.
resistances from the tree, specifically around the Marauder class start.
Nice.
These, of course, can stack with the new elemental mitigation from endurance charges.
Wow.
On
That's
top
a
of
lot
this,
more.
duels can now roll maximum elemental resistances as modifiers.
Nice. Oh, but what about Adorned?
Since we're making elemental mitigation more accessible, we've heavily reduced accessibility to physical damage taken as chaos or elemental damage. Those stats are still around, but you should not expect to be getting full conversion anymore.
Oh, no.
All
Oh, that means those uniques are going to be gone. What are the uniques that we were using this last
block
league?
passives have been buffed, so you can now
Okay.
more easily achieve block cap from just the passive tree.
Nice. Good.
The Keystone Versatile Combatant has been improved to have less of a penalty to maximum block.
Oh, cool.
A number of life
God, it really makes me want to play Gladiator, but I don't know.
leech passives have been buffed to generally allow for more acquisition of maximum leech rate for life. Vow Pact has been reinstated to its former glory for instant life leech. but
Nice.
Only for melee.
Nice. Ooh. That's really good for bow builds,
We've
too.
reworked Flesh and Stone.
Okay.
Previously, this buff skill granted Maim and Blind, depending on the stance of our character.
Yeah.
Now,
It gains more physical damage from hits and less damage from nearby
while
enemies.
in Sand Stance, the skill simply provides damage mitigation, becoming more effective the closer you are to
More
enemies.
fizz or less damage.
While in
That's
Blood Stance,
awesome.
enemies will take more
That's
physical
better.
damage
That's
the closer
so
you
much
are to
better.
them. This skill will now greatly favor melee or close range gameplay. Given we're doing a Kalguuran league, Ward has also received a bit of attention.
Cool, good.
There are new uniques that grant Ward, and the base restoration of Ward is now faster.
Okay.
To compensate, Olroth's Resolve has been nerfed, but Ward loop builds will still be possible.
Alright. As long as they're
Anyway,
still possible.
that
That's
was
cool,
most
'cause
of
that's
the
a good-
purely
I
defensive
like that
changes. Now let's look at some of the offensive and utility-based ones. There are more and better ways to deal with mana as an attacker on the southern hemisphere of the passive tree.
Good. Oh, nice. Whoa, 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 whoa. They added a whole new reservation spot. Ooh. And it's near the ranger, too. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be hard to pass up.
Wands, daggers, scepters, claws, and staves now have higher critical strike chance values than ever.
Excellent.
Wands can go as high as 10% without modifiers.
Oh, wow.
Sandstorm Visage has been made rarer to compensate, instead of reducing its power.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. I like that change.
For you wand attackers, wands now have higher attack speed than ever to compensate for their low damage. Wand exclusive skills such as Power Siphon, Kinetic Bolt, and Kinetic Blast now have faster attack times.
Cool.
Impale passives have been revised and in general buffed.
Yeah, bleed is going to
The
be the
buffs
thing.
granted by Warcries are now simpler but more significant.
Buffs granted added attack damage equals 3% of the damage of your main hand weapon per 5 power, up to a maximum of 30. Ooh, Red Blade Banner is going to be really good.
And more universal to builds. They also now apply to allies by default.
Ooh.
Banners have been reworked.
Wait, what are they going to do with that keystone?
Instead of having a reservation cost, they are now free.
Huh! Everyone could use banners!
However, they don't grant a permanent buff. Banners now need to be placed for the effect.
This is one of my biggest Achilles heels.
To be active.
They need to be placed.
However, once
always
placed,
forget
they are
to
far
place
more
them.
powerful than before. Additionally, there are new ways to prolong the effects and more ways to invest in them than ever before.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I probably still won't use
Rage has been made more fundamental and discoverable.
them. Okay, good.
Rage is now multiplicative attack damage,
Ooh!
but no longer inherently grants attack speed or movement speed. It has a new cap, and you can find many new passive clusters that allow you to invest
Okay.
into the mechanic.
Okay.
The goal is to make Rage more powerful as a baseline, and less gated behind the use of specific unique items and ascendancy classes.
Yeah, and if it's not movement speed,
Berserk
then a lot
has
of
been
people aren't going to
nerfed,
be interested
just so
in
you're
it.
aware.
The what?
We
Oh,
have
Berserk has
changed
been
how
nerfed.
bleed works too. You can now find aggravated bleed on the passive tree.
Yeah, I like
When
aggravated bleed.
applied,
That's cool.
all bleeds on the enemy will deal damage as if the enemy is moving for the remainder of their duration. The skill Ensnaring Arrow
That's
no
insane
longer
with
interacts
Crimson
with bleed,
Dance.
so no
Okay.
more will you have to apply bleeds and swap to a bow. You can now achieve the same result using aggravated bleed passives without the annoyance.
Okay.
Rupture from the Deadeye has been turned into a support gem.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Using aggravated
They
bleed
made
passives
They made an
without the
ascendancy skill a
annoyance.
support gem? Wait a minute. Critical strikes with supported skills that inflict bleeding also inflict rupture. Targets take 20% damage for bleeding per rupture. Bleeding is way buffed. Bleeding is way buffed.
Rupture from the Deadeye has been turned into a support gem. We've added the new Overexertion support gem, which highly favors slam builds.
Nice.
Now, it's time to look at a hot topic, Magic Find. In the Settlers of Kalguur expansion, we are going to be removing item quantity bonuses from all character items.
Ooh.
This will not affect existing items in standard leagues.
Oh my god. Yeah. Get all the magic find you can get now.
Magic Find is intended to be another axis on your gear you can scale once you have achieved the power you want. With item quantity being only available on unique items, this meant if you wanted to get the most out of it, you had to be playing a very specific build.
Or maybe not.
We still want people to be able to invest into Magic Find, but now only through item rarity.
Ooh.
This can be obtained on a number of rare item slots, and by a much larger number of builds. What about Ventor's Gamble, you might ask? Here it is now.
No. I mean, people are still going to use it for leagues, but increased quantity is going to be a way to go. Yeah, I would suggest, heavily suggest everybody get a maximum Ventor's Gamble if they possibly can. Just one. You only need one.
This is one of the biggest balance patches we've ever done. I can't promise that existing builds will all be safe. Even we aren't able to predict all the outcomes here,
Yeah,
nor have we even gone into every single change.
It's going to be
just
crazy.
the major ones. I don't know, man. Balance is hard. But the sheer number of new, viable options is exciting, especially for Melee. And we're determined to drag the game in a better direction.
I hope what they do is they don't do the same thing that they did this league. I hope they set it on its course. If they want to do nerfs and buffs, everything has to be done within the first week, and then let it go. Just let it go into the sunset. It's going to be okay, GGG. It'll be okay. Let it go. Let people have their fun with all the craziness that you made. Just let it go.
Be sure to read the patch notes after this. It's going to be a ruckus. In 3.24, we overhauled the in-game experience by introducing a new tier of maps and reworking scarabs.
Yes, they did.
We want to continue to improve these systems and introduce more exciting in-game content every league. 3.25 is no exception.
Good.
Let's check out the myriad of changes coming in Settlers of Kalguur. First up, we are changing many scarabs.
Good.
We won't go into too much detail here to avoid getting lost in the weeds, but here's a few new ones.
Increased maps found in area for each map modifier affecting area. Excellent. Monsters in area have 2 additional monster modifiers. Cool. Divination cards which drop in area are stolen by the final map boss. Final map boss becomes more difficult and deals increased damage the more divination cards they have stolen. Final map boss duplicates all stolen divination cards when defeated. That's interesting. That's gonna be crazy. Interesting. Okay. I like that. I'm not sure the pilfering one's gonna be really valuable. It looks like they're doing the thing that everybody said they should do, which is take away the ones that just give the increases. They're doing a 10% more for each map modifier affecting the area. That's great. Yeah.
Check out the patch notes after this for more detail.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun looking at that when we go to the
We've also added
notes.
an additional map device slot, which will be unlocked upon completing your first 10-way Maven encounter. This simply allows for more combinations of scarabs and maps, resulting in more difficulty and more rewards.
Well, and that's cool too. I like this because now that this is going to be the 5th map slot. And actually the 6th map slot is going to be activated after tier 17s. That's the way it's going to work now. This is actually the 5th map slot, and then the next one is going to be the
This is on top of the
6th.
existing additional slot that can be unlocked by completing your first tier 17 map.
Yeah, because the 10-way
there are
map,
now 6 map
10-way
device
Maven
slots
is not
in
that
total.
hard.
You might have seen our teaser, where we revealed we'll be adding new special encounters to the in-game.
Yeah.
One such encounter is the Nameless Seer, lurking in tier 16 and 17 maps.
Nice.
This NPC will give you a selection of unique items.
So he's just
and you can
randomly going to
pick
show
one
up
for
now.
free.
That's good.
In
I
tier
like that.
16 maps, he now has an additional feature, where you can scry a map. This allows you to swap the divination card drops of the current map with another map on your atlas.
What? What? You can make Mage Blood fall in City Square if you want? Whoever gets this... Whoa. Okay, so... what you're going to want to do to set up your maps for div card farming is fish for the seer and change apothecary and headhunter, apothecary and doctor to the easiest layout map that you can. And then that's going to be your farm. That's... Whoa. This is only going to apply... I have a fear, though. This is only going to apply to those people who run... like, who are streamers who are running maps 8 hours a day. That's going to be a huge benefit to them. Huge benefit. If the Nameless Seer is not pretty consistent, like, if he shows up in 1 out of every 100 maps, it'll be okay. But if it's 1 out of every 2,000 or something like that, then it's only going to be those guys who benefit from this. But that's...
Just one caveat. You cannot have the same map be in multiple swaps at the same time. If you want to undo your choice, you can use a scouring orb on either map on your atlas.
Okay.
We've also made some updates to a couple of leagues. Blight has been updated with some atlas passive skill changes.
Good, it needed it. We saw that last league when we were trying to play
And double
Blight.
anointed amulets can now drop in Blight Ravage maps.
Ooh, good.
We've also introduced a new type of oil that can only drop from Blighted and Blight Ravaged maps.
This is what I was interested in.
Ritual has also been updated. You can now find 1 new and many reworked base types, new unique items...
Wait, what? -2 socketed support gems, +2 to level of socketed skill gems, +4 to maximum chaos resistance. You are crushed.
Ritual has also been updated.
What?
You can now find 1 new and many reworked base types, new unique items.
New unique items. Increased elemental ailment duration on you. 50% reduced effect of curses on you. Grants pacify affliction. Penance mark. What?
Items.
What is that?
Corpses you can use to raise as specters.
Oh, ritual is gonna be good. It's gonna be a good farm.
And occasionally a fragment, granting access to the King in the Mist's boss fight.
Nice. So we can get
From the Affliction League.
betrays.
He will drop a number of unique items that were familiar from the League, but not that which was taken, as it is now that which was taken away.
Oh.
However,
That which was
he now
taken.
drops a different modular jewel that you might recognize from the Necropolis League.
Oh, he drops a Parandus pack. It's called the Light of Meaning. Okay. 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 Still good.
In Tier 16 and Tier 17 maps, you can now encounter the Wildwood, also from the Affliction League.
Oh.
In case you missed it, the Wildwood is a mysterious forest fraught with danger. In the darkness, you will find magical wisps yearning for freedom. Upon releasing them, they will empower the monsters in your map, promising more danger but more rewards. You may also find random sentinels on the ground near the start of your maps, from the Sentinel League. They work in a similar way to before. They aren't items, but you can click on them and then they can be activated in that area at any time of your choosing. Upon activation, they will buff monsters around you, increasing their difficulty and rewards. And here's one for those who like to live dangerously. You may occasionally find a reflective mist from the Kalandra League. It has 2 outcomes. It could drop a jewelry item with randomly enhanced or inverted modifier values, or it can give a reflecting mist item, which can be used on an existing piece of jewelry to perform the same action at a time of your choosing.
Ooh, those are going to be worth a ton of money. Those are going to be worth a lot.
Good luck!
Those are going to be worth a lot. Wow, those are going to be, yeah.
There's many other small changes to League content. We're removing the first 15 most boring waves of the simulacrum and rebalancing its rewards to improve the chances of finding unique jewels.
Good.
We're also adding some of the beasts from Einhar's Memory of Harvest Beasts to the core pool.
Ooh.
This includes the Black Morrigan.
Ooh. Beast farming got a buff too.
In other news, we've added a set of new chisel types.
New chisels? What? What? Excuse me?
Which can be applied to your maps to get
A slower proj, especially with ball lightning of orbiting. Yep.
different bonuses. While the cartographer's chisel still increases item quantity,
Okay.
there are new ones that now increase rarity, pack size,
Ooh, the pack size is going to be the most valuable one. Right?
increased chance for currency items, divination cards, and scarabs.
Pack size. Pack size. The div chisel is good too. Why is this? Okay. Wow. That's interesting. Build your map. I like this a bit better. That's nice. I like that. That's a good change. I wasn't even thinking
It's also worth
about
mentioning that chisels now apply 20% quality per chisel to white maps, 10% to yellow maps, and 5% to red maps and higher.
that. Okay. So they're removing the quantity from magic fine gear, adding a little bit of it to chisels. Okay.
Unique maps still require the full 20 chisels. Also,
It's a more, not increase. Oh, okay, I see.
only one type of chisel can be applied to a map at a time.
Yeah.
During 3.24, we made a change to Tier 17 maps that allowed them to be rerolled with Chaos Orbs. We are now expanding the currency types that can be used on them to also include currencies like chisels and Val Orbs.
Okay. I still like this. I think they've sort of luckily fell into this.
Ultimately, the only restriction Tier 17 maps now have is that explicit modifiers cannot be removed from them.
Ah, okay. So,
We have also revised the difficulty of these maps, as they didn't quite hit the mark.
yeah, good. The thing is, like, they're really good for chaos sinks, and that keeps the chaos divine balance pretty nicely. I really like that change, actually.
The monsters in them now have substantially less life and deal less damage.
Okay.
Meaning Tier 17 maps now better fit into the progression between Pinnacle
Good.
and Uber Pinnacle content.
That means they're more accessible.
Lastly, we've adjusted the drop rate of Valdo's puzzle boxes. Previously, we were adapting its drop rate based on the possible outcomes selected by supporters.
Yeah, it's cool you can put Tier 17 implicits on to Tier 16 maps. That's cool. I like
So
that.
many supporters really wanted Mage Bloods, so the box was hardly dropping. Thus, we have drastically increased the drop rate of the box, but reduced the probability of getting chase unique items from it, like Mage Blood.
Ah, I see.
Overall, we have taken care not to reduce the number of Mage Bloods total in the economy. We figured it was better to have more tickets for fun rather than barely seeing any boxes in a league.
I like that. That's a good change.
We've been hard at work improving the Path of Exile experience on consoles.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
With native ports for the Xbox,
All right, I'm gonna skip the
Penance Pack
councils.
series also has
I'm gonna skip the packs.
Exile 2 beta tests over at pathofexile2.com. We will only be selecting a very limited number of people for this first test, but if you want to make sure that you are considered, then head over to the website and register your email address now.
Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing this or not. We'll see.
We're
Probably
just about to start the queue for this.
Q&A with Ziggy D. Okay, I like watching these. These are okay.
Set up the whiteboard and put everything on there.
That's pretty quiet.
End of the day, really, we have this much time, we have this many people who can do what we do, and we just keep going till the end. Like, it doesn't stop here. Like, we've still got one more week, right? Like, there are still changes that can be
Yeah.
made, so we're going to keep making them. So,
Yeah, that is a pretty long Q&A. That's like half the video is the Q&A. Let's see. Let's speed it up.
but yeah, it's huge. It is absolutely massive.
Yeah, Jonathan was saying to me the other day, I don't think it's that big. And I was like, mate, that was crazy. Just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I guess from my perspective, I kind of look at this and I'm like, okay, when I compare it to the amount of stuff that's being created for PoE2, it seems small, but yeah, when you actually think about it, it's like, yeah, it's
in a sense that we've got the Path of Exile 2 beta kind of just around the corner now.
I guess I don't really see it that tested.
Path of Exile 2 stuff.
It is simply we don't have thousands and thousands of people that you would need to be able to actually see how that goes. So on some level, we kind of need our community to see what happens with the economy to be able to in your hideout and then just use them for that, and that can be the only thing to do if you want.
So all that currency exchange, the item gambling and stuff is all like fully accessible even if you basically don't do any of the other stuff.
Yeah. Which means, of course, if it is successful, it can port into the core game very, very easily. You just turn gold drops on, put Faustus in, and I mean, there's a little bit more than that, but that's generally the summary of it. It doesn't have to come with the whole kind of city building element and all of that comes alongside it. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're setting it up so that they can actually import the Kalguur League in like QOL changes into your hideout if they need to.
Yeah, so do you see it being something that's likely to stick around then? And that's kind of the intention.
That is certainly our intention. It's just that we want to be able to still have an out if things are horribly wrong. Or if we feel like we need to change some stuff. So it is certainly our intention to keep it if we can.
It's a nice little safety net being part of the league for you then.
Probabilities are high, and I suspect also no one's going to let us remove it, right? So let's be realistic here.
It would have to go horrifically wrong for everyone to be like, okay, you were right, don't do this.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. So there's also this gambling thing with Faustus where you can buy these unearned items, and actually they're pretty powerful from what I saw. Like the items it was producing were like those really well rolled rares. What's the idea behind gold-based gambles? Why is that a part of it?
Ultimately, it's a sink. You don't want gold to just be accumulated forever. But the awesome thing is that it's a way to target specific base types. And that's ultimately the luxury. So obviously when you're going through the campaign and you're looking for specific targeted gear upgrades, very, very useful for that. And it, as you get higher and higher level, I guess as you upgrade your tavern, I guess technically sort of, but also as you just get higher level, it upgrades the modifier tier rating, which was a term some people might not know, but it was used in the Necropolis League, which effectively cuts off the bottom X tiers that can generate. So the items by end game will be generating with a minimum tier higher than something, and thus they are pretty powerful items.
Okay, that's good. Patch note spoiler? Hey, Prometheus. Yeah. Sure. What's the patch note spoiler? Zero to 100. Yeah, I thought that they had to do that. They had to do that. All the 150% Adorans are going to be worth super multiple mirrors in Legacy, but yeah, they had to do that. Yeah. Corrupted magic jewels. Yeah, they had to, because otherwise it's just the build. Every build goes to that. It's too powerful. Every build would go to that. Yeah.
It's worth mentioning that there's quite a lot of changes in this.
So I'm glad they made that change, but yeah, whoever did get the 150% increase effect in Legacy those are going to be worth so much money now, like 10 plus mirrors at least.
Around the idea of
still good, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think it's still good. It's still a good thing for people, like, if you can get all the perfect jewels for it, it's still good enough if you can get, like, everything perfectly made for it. But, yeah. But otherwise, it's probably not good enough.
How can we make rares more viable than uniques? Quite a lot of the balance things are actually around this idea, and that extends to things like adding more base types higher up and so on.
Because a lot of actually the Adorns that were setups that people were using were not 150%. They were 130 something percent, right? 140 something percent. They weren't 150. So even those gems are going to be worth a lot. So yeah.
Make so that there's they can compete with uniques more, the higher tier life mods, all this sort of stuff, and the gambling and the ability to get rares this way as well is like another part of this. So we really want to try and make it so that and the reason why it's important is because if like Mark said in the video with the item quant problem as well, that was one of the other things that sort of meant that you had to be tied to specific uniques, like for sure. And so yeah, we just wanted to remove more of the barriers that allow people to just be able to use rares, and then that opens up for more different build types. Like if less uniques become mandatory. So that's it's just not one of those things that kind of affects that.
So with that being an attractive expenditure of gold, how much do you want players to be able to trade currency freely between each other with this very fast and asynchronous currency exchange system? Like obviously the gold is your ability to control how much of that's happening in terms of volume. How liquid do you want any currency or drop to be?
So for currency in particular, we're fine with like a very high amount of liquidity. Later on, we've talked about how in PvP we're going to be doing asynchronous.
Yeah, okay, so this is...
honestly sounds like a relief that you're not worried about that sort of thing too much, because that kind of incentive to hoard currency.
It's the trade thing.
Right.
Yeah, they're
it feels like a bit of a momentous occasion. The
website. I just went spam. I got 100 people. And guess how many replied? 0. I tried to voice my disgust at when I said talk about price fixes and people who don't reply. But like, if you had got my actual emotional reaction, I would have probably been screaming a little bit and
yeah, so
like a little bit more.
They're talking about trade problems.
So, things like that, you'll be trading using the existing way, and all stackables you'll trade. Hopefully,
some people will be learning more about the stock market pretty soon. We just have to work out how it can work exactly. So I believe that we will get there, and that's in our intention.
Sound building thing.
Well, a lot of time spent on that trading. Currency trading.
League.
Yeah. I remember your initial response. I think was, "Hold on, that could mean many things. Does that mean we have guns?" And I was like, "Well."
Yeah, no, it's going to be really good. I think it's going to benefit a lot of people. Anybody who likes to set up multiple different kinds of currency for trading is going to help a lot. And yeah, Scarab catalysts and fossils.
Maybe.
Pokemon things.
Yeah, so it kind of like moved around a little bit from the initial pitch. I know, like, I mean, the first pitch was definitely too complicated with all sorts of, like, it had like way more stages of different products and all sorts of stuff going on. Like, it was pretty crazy. And so it kind of it got put in.
So this idea of this is very much like a meta progression league, right? Like, and that's not a new concept. The idea of like a league having its own sort of progression outside of your personal character progression. But this is definitely the main flavor here. It feels. Is this something you specifically want to give players like a greater?
The fact that it's not just if you can trading scarabs, catalysts, fossils. Yeah, also I agree. That's going to be huge. All that consumable stuff that needs to be done like that. Yeah, it is. It is such a pain. I agree. Totally
Context
agree.
for the things that they're doing. So they're doing their atlas, but they're getting golden resources and progressing this whole other thing.
I mean, for sure, but I will mention that, like, I guess it wasn't dwelled on a lot in the video.
Like, I think it's good for them to have like the actual items that you're trading for to be like a friction of you need to meet this player to trade for the item. But for currency and stuff, things that are expendable, like. Yeah, way more accessible.
Like the resource gathering thing, like those encounters are encounters that you're going to be encountering through the world, and they have their own mechanics and stuff, which obviously Matt can talk more about. So like that is definitely like content there as well. It's just that like it's kind of not as easy to show. Like we kind of needed to show all this sort of town stuff, but those encounters will hopefully be very enjoyable as well. And that's kind of like I suppose you could call that the meat and potatoes in some sense of the league because that's what you'll be doing every area. You're going to find these things and have to do those encounters.
Yeah. So what's that content like?
Yeah. So you got one in every area. Well, aside from something like Tidal Island and some of that stuff, you got one in every area minimum. So it's 1 to 2. And there are 5 different outcomes. Kind of 6, but we'll go over the 5 of them. And so you can find different minerals. So the first is Crimson Iron. Crimson Iron is like iron that's overrun with like corruption. So you have these 3, 2 to 5, it goes up as you go through the game, of these kind of growth spawners, and they're spawning demons or monsters. And then as you kill each growth, the other growths heal, like surge, spawn more monsters, and they accelerate, so they get slightly harder over time. So it's just a full monster encounter. Upon completing it, you get the ore. You've got Orichalcum, which is like guarded by these also, and they have an extra elemental modifier on them, like the rare magic mods. They just got an extra one that's counter is Verisium, which is the thing that the Kalguur
side of things. It's still a 5 monster in Circle League.
Yes, of course.
It all comes back to
it
that.
is, and again, you can. There's no real harm in like just doing that for as long as you want, accumulating as much gold as you want, and then if you want to engage with the town later or something, that's always something you can do.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen with this, we're seeing people buying portal scrolls and ID scrolls to convert with the vendor. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would agree with that.
End of the day, the gold is going to be your primary restriction. So being able to just farm for ages and get a whole bunch of gold isn't going to, like, and while not necessarily engaging with the town, is not going to set you back that far.
Yes, this is very much a take it at your own leisure.
100%, 100%,
and
yes.
That touches on the next question. And the one that when I watched it, I was like, this is the thing people might be most concerned about, is the somewhat controversial area of game design, timers, right? So we worried that this would give people ick because they just have that around timers.
I can see what you mean. And like that was honestly when I was talking to Mark about like what's the thing that's going to be the controversial thing about the league, that was certainly up there. One thing we wanted to make sure that's really clear though is that you can stack a lot of work like on like in your town that can be done in a queue without you having to come back. So it's not like you have to come back every freaking hour to like get anything, right? Like you can queue days of work and like if you're doing like your map runners, for example, like you've got your queue there that you can do, and then like you can just come back and then run all the maps, you get all the loot from all of them.
So you just log in when you normally log in.
It also doesn't mean it's so long. Like there's these sweet spots in time that we've really aimed for, right? Anything too short, highly annoying. And then anything too long feels like a mobile game, right? So we have this kind of sweet spots for a lot of them where, well, you can put in either easier maps, lower tier maps. Obviously, there's no. However, of course, like you don't simulate actually every single monster dying, but it's right? For them to actually permanently die, that can happen, and you
17 mapping strategy.
But those all require it turns.
Spectral shield goes slip off, so no changes for me. Oh, you're doing spectral shield throw for league start. That's cool.
Garbage items into good items is the idea. Or
effectively just this will give you more loot and currency and stuff. So like Wildwood and Sentinel, they're just about like giving you a big boost to your magic find. So you might not necessarily want those to be something that players can have active all the time, but rather as like a cool bonus that randomly appears when you map spicy.
That is the other benefit because it is random and not something that you can just have guaranteed. They can be stronger. Yeah. They can be more impactful as a result. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. We're not finding out a lot, actually.
Go and do it, right? And you can bring a party members, but you can only enter it once. Like once you die, you cannot re-enter. So, one shot only.
Okay, let's take a little bit of a turn now, looking backwards at Necropolis and reflecting on some of the changes that happened in it. First, the overall endgame overhaul, such as the removal of sextants and the massive scarab rework. How do you just feel about that overall, both of you first? How that went to the endgame overhaul?
I do think overall good, but it's very easy for that to get.
Okay, Necropolis.
There was a Reddit thread, and I can't remember how far into the league. That was pretty much like what the heck has happened to the prices of T0 uniques, and you had like Defiance of Destiny at like 4C. It was like actual craziness, and yeah, upon looking at this, and oh no, none of this was anyone abusing or exploiting anything. In fact, I think, did we tell you the value of how many unique items were dropping inside?
I was
going to ask you to guess, but we were getting over 100,000 unique items in some instances, and I'm not.
Which would bring back the auto revive Spectre for that one popcorn build, though. Yeah, Ritual, I think they did a really nice job in incorporating corpses. That's pretty cool. I like all the Ritual changes. Real loser with all these changes with basically the minions. Maybe, but maybe not, because there's also like new crafting stuff going on with the minions. So and adding back in the minions depends on if the stats are the same with the minion corpses, because a lot of those minions from Ritual or from its Affliction were really strong, so that might not be.
I'm talking in a single map, and I'm not talking a 6-man group. I'm talking solo players who are able to achieve this. And this is where a lot of those things, so for example, the Shaper Touch rarity, there were just so many layers of multipliers that if used correctly altogether. But you ended up with less than 100 people in the entire realm acquiring over 99% of all T0 uniques. And so we have gone and looked at all that and been like, okay, well, that is highly compromising the economy and the integrity of the economy. And we fixed some of this last league, but we are doing more of it this time to make sure that your average and above average player
There was a 30% more multiplier I saw on the rune crafting stuff for minions. So it depends on how many items you can put that on. Because a 30% more multiplier on all the different items for minion damage is insane. Like, depends on how much what items they can go on.
Like having the economy ruined as their experience, but we're just really, really controlling that like high top end. And I'm talking like most people would never have known this was happening. They would have just been like, where are all these uniques coming from?
It's not a bug, it's just the math of
correct, exactly. There's technically legal stuff, and there's always a question with stuff like that, because generally speaking, we have the policy of no mid-act nerfs, and yet there were certain cases, and that was really tough the last.
Yeah, the last league, they just had too many nerfs.
It felt way more energetic. It's refreshing, I think, for a lot of us who've been playing for 10 years at this point. Pretty cool stuff. So on the Tier 17 maps, they were intended to be like a gateway to Uber bosses, but they ended up being harder and more restrictive than the actual content. And we had Uber boss viable builds, really struggling with that actual content. So how are you kind of changing things with that, or are you happy with where that's at?
I mean, the ultimate numerical change to T17 monsters is that they have it's approximately 55% less life, so they have less than half the life they had before and 30% less damage, which seems extreme. And I will just note that was like actually not intended.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. It was
currency into it and more thought into it, or be like, oh, this is a real good map. It's got like some specific reward modifiers you want, but there's this one bad thing I'm going to have to deal with, and then you actually do commit to dealing with it. It again, hopefully adds more ebbs and flows to the process as opposed to
wait on the rune staff, yeah.
it again just being like outgo and run, and that can be quite where some people like that, and that's okay. You can still obviously do that with 16s. I do like these things having an impact on your build, just not to either one, it should be avoidable, and or not to the extent it was before. And again, investing into them, rolling them, like it's certainly not something I'd want to stray away from. I actually consider it a success when you have to reroll your maps. Again, probably a controversial take, but I think it is a much better thing getting an actual. Like it feels more like an actual game mechanic as opposed to like, well, at the point it's just Alk can go and Alks are worth so little. Why you just drop them rare, and like why are you even engaging with the currency on maps system?
Why have mods if the mods don't matter?
Do you take like some consideration to how many chaos, for example, you expect someone to put into a map to produce mods that are on average viable for their build that they're doing?
We do, yes. So I mean, what? No.
I mean, in some ways, T17s are like are the map scarcity that like
Tier 17 stuff.
I would say there's still a place for things like for it. You know,
the update was certainly very solid for it, making it a lot
it's
better.
Simplified a bunch of stuff down with it as well. I'd probably have gone a bit further with the simplification if I'd had to redo it with some of it. Some of those like meta mods and some of the more crazy things are a little bit rare items. You've got like we haven't buffed the life on every unique, we buffed it on counts. That's it, right? So all uniques proportionally just got worse to rare items, quite intentionally. So that rare item, it's not it's not just hiding behind all these things you got to learn in wiki and. A melee character with equivalent gear should be better than any other character.
On a better player's hands.
Yes, and then a better player can obviously seize that even better and take that even further. These are the outliers on the bottom, these are the outliers on the top. Let's like find out where the thing should sit. And generally it's now meant to be, if you are a character with a melee character, let's say you've got 70th percentile gear, and there's a caster next to you that has 70th percentile gear, if you can maintain, a melee character is generally meant to be stronger and more efficient at that point, of course, but it is easier to take damage and harder to maintain damage uptime as a result. So if you can overcome those two axes, a melee character with equivalent gear should be better than any other character.
Interesting. Holy Relic is untouched? Ooh.
On a better player's hands.
Yes, and then a better player can obviously seize that even better and take
regular people read some patch notes, and there'll be an FAQ news post ripping up some questions from this.
All right, so actually, there wasn't too much actually with this GGG interview. They mostly talked about Tier 17s, a little bit about the league content, and a lot about the trading. So let's go into the Path of Exile. .com. Let's go to the news. Tier 70 Monster Life was accidentally buffed twice by two different people who didn't know the other one already did it. Oh! That's hilarious. No wonder. Yeah, no wonder. People were like, what happened? Oh, that happened. And then they're like, uh-oh. Yeah, they could have changed it, but... yeah, that's why they were so tanky. They were so crazy. Okay. Let's see. Find out more. Patch notes. Okay. Let's get into patch notes. All right, Prometheus. Let's see here. Settlers of Kalguur, Challenge Leagues, Settlers of Kalguur, Challenge, Standing... yeah, they kind of went through all of this already. New content features. New Strength Gem, Crushing Fist. Retaliate against a blocked hit by slamming a huge armored fist into the ground in front of you. What's my starter? Oh, I'm not sure now, but I've been practicing Toxic Rain. Mana cost of 6. Okay, that's a buff. Toxic Rain of Spore Burst of Withering. Okay, so they just changed. That's it. Nothing changed really. For they buffed it slightly to make it cheaper. Yeah. That's what I was doing. I might change things up though. I'm not sure because it seems like melee might be like bleeding especially. I'm really interested in bleeding. I'm really interested in a gladiator with retaliation bleeding. Because if you can do retaliation with bleeding, with all the block skill buffs that they got, it might just be insane. Yeah, bleed changes, rage changes, and block changes are all really insane. Yeah, duelist. Like, I'm thinking a duelist, maybe even a dual-wielding duelist. Yeah, the endurance charge is also really insane. Because the amount of endurance charge stacking you can do is actually pretty high. Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I'm thinking duelist, retaliation duelist with bleeding, where the retaliations inflict bleeding. Yeah, impale is a bit of a buff, but bleeding got insanely buffed. The thing that the aggravated bleeding, that effect is so strong. I think people don't understand how much extra damage bleeding does when things are running. Usually, like, it's the damage over time. Like, also the fact that it's a damage over time effect, and plus with Crimson, yeah. Cannot be used while manifested, meaning you can now weapon swap after manifesting dervishes and still use items in your second weapon slot. Manifested disabled both weapon slots. Interesting. I think most people were using dervishes for the open palm with the what is that? One with nothing ability where you could just yeah, if you didn't have any gloves or weapons or shields, yeah. You turn 2 dervishes and then a free minion. Yeah, free weapon, free minion. Maybe. I think what they're trying to do is they were trying to nerf one with nothing. Because one with nothing was the main thing that people were using Dancing Dervish for. Boosted Arakali flight. Okay. Hold on a second. I almost finished my drink, so I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, I have returned. Arakali's Fang. Let's take a look at it. Wasn't Arakali's already Huh, I'm not seeing anything on it. Let me look up. Cat's paw. Like some combination build. The dancing duo. Yeah, dancing dervish. The dancing dervish was used mostly for one with nothing. But I'm not sure about you can basically do so now you can let's look up dancing dervish. Dancing Dervish no longer has manifested Dancing Dervishes disabled both weapon slots. It now has cannot be used while manifested, meaning that you can now weapon swap after manifesting Dancing Dervishes, still use the items in your second weapon slot. This was because everybody was using this with... It was used one with nothing, but not really, but it didn't really do anything. You were able to use one with nothing and have the Dancing Dervish minion, which is why they used it. But... now you can do it with a weapon swap. I think it's I think now people are using it with a weapon swap. That's a nerf to one with nothing, basically. That's all this is. It's a nerf to one with nothing. Well, and a buff to anybody else who's doing other stuff. Well, one with nothing now they can't use it. Here, let's look up no, not POERE. Where is the... I'm so glad the fandom is not there anymore. Yes. But you can't use any weapons with one with nothing. So unless you have, maybe if you have Dancing Dervish and Dancing Dervish, like 2 of them, but you can't use 2 of them. Okay, so this manifests as Dancing Dervishes. So it basically... this is why. Now, one with nothing doesn't get Rampage. Or... oh, wait. Oh! That's a good point, Prometheus. Maybe you're right. Yeah, if you weapon swap to holding nothing, maybe you're right. Maybe this was just a buff to every melee. You could have 2 Dancing Dervishes. But if it's... here, wait. If it's patch notes to be... yeah, you could have Dancing Dervish, Dancing Dervish. That would be interesting to try out, right? Four Minion Blade. Yep. Why not? And each of them is giving you a 25% chance to gain Rampage on kill. So you get a 50% chance to gain a Rampage on kill. Yeah. You don't get gloves. It gets on... you get Onslaught. It's weird. It is a weird change. It is a weird change. I think they're just wanting to buff melee skills, and this is a buff to melee skills. If people want to run Dancing Dervish in their off in their weapon swap, they can do that, and then they can have a minion when they're doing melee skills. That's probably what they're thinking. Like, why not give melee even more? Let's give melee even more. This is why I might change my build, because my league start, because I think melee might be just so strong. Yeah, it is kind of weird, but yeah, melee might just be strong. I think they're just trying to throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks with melee, because melee's been in such a sorry... Yeah, it's just been in such a sorry state for so long that they don't even know how to tune it. Like, they're just, how do we do it? Let's just buff everything to the moon and then see what happens. So, yeah, me too. I'm totally for it. I think it's great. There's going to be a lot of nerfs next league. I think that's a better way to deal with it. I think it's a really good way to deal with it. Okay. So, Crushing Fist, retaliate against a blocked hit by slamming a huge armored fist into the ground in front of you. Okay, so that seems like a slam. New Strength Gem, Vengeful Cry, retaliate against savage hit with a war cry, taunting all nearby enemies to attack the user. The user and nearby allies get a buff which grants rage and prevents rage from being lost. That's cool. Strength Support Gem, Overexertion, melee attacks which can be exerted, causing them to deal more damage for each war cry exerting them. Cannot modify the skills of minions. Fall skills and channeling skills cannot be exerted. Whoa. Yeah. You're going to have a lot of money this league. If you are using the town at all, you're going to have a lot of money. Anybody who's using the town, you got it. I would say it's really good for everybody, for all the people who work real jobs. Like, they're going to be able to go play their game, set everything up before they go to sleep, go to work, come back, collect their loot. It's going to be great for everybody who works. It's going to be good for all the people who are no-lifers, because they're going to be able to get the super valuable gems that are drop only, and or like the mirror thing and the switching the cards with the seer. Like, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to help both people. The people who spend more time actually in the game are going to get more money, but the people who are just have to do work are not going to feel like they're so left out and left behind like they did last league, because, oh, I missed this strategy and now it's nerfed. Like, because I don't see them nerfing the amount of money that is coming in from the league content. That I think they would have tested more than a lot of the other base game changes. So, okay, let's see. Another Strength Dexterity Gem, Eviscerate. This looks pretty good if you're doing a slams build. This looks really interesting if you are running the Call to Echo Helm. They did remove League mechanic being in the Atlas tree. That's good. Yeah, that was an experiment. They'll probably put it back in the next time. In the next league, they're just gonna try to see. They're trying new stuff out. I like it. I think it's okay. I think the way they did it was wrong, and they're just having meetings about the way they did it. I agree a lot with Zizurian on this, actually. Zizurian said that if you want to do the league stuff in the tree, yeah, it was bad. I like the fact that it would be in the tree, but if they want to do it in the tree, it needs to fundamentally change how the league mechanic works. Like, it needs to have some specific impact on how the league works. So it doesn't feel mandatory. It feels, yeah, exactly. You don't want it to feel like a tax. You want it to feel like a change. That's how it makes it cool. Which is what they do with all the other. It's kind of weird because it's what they do with all the other Atlas, like Atlas passives. Is like you fundamentally change the way the mirror works, or the simplest solution is to leave it out. But I think if they want to add it in as an extra thing that people can do if they really like the league, I think the big problem is Well, you know, to add more fun. It's not broken, but you can add it for more fun. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But then they can try out some other ideas that they were thinking about. Like maybe if instead of what they had in the Atlas passive tree, this time around, maybe instead they could just say, oh, double the values of all of the coffins that drop if you get this keystone, so that people want to do that keystone, or maybe not double, but make it 66% more of the values that drop when you do a craft or something like that. Or you know, you could have made it so that one of the so that a boss appears instead of being haunted, or like at the end of the map the boss is haunted by these by all the Parandus people, so that it drops a Parandus random unique. Like if you yeah, you could bake it into the league. That's true. There's a lot of ways to handle it. I think I agree with you. The way they did it was not good. The only way they can make it work on the Atlas tree to make it valuable is to make the league not a mandatory league. The fact that every single map was mandatory, like the league applied to every map and everything, no matter what, made it impossible. You had to take it, otherwise you were just losing out on currency. Yeah, exactly. Like if they made it so that it would just like do a fundamental change to the way the league worked, then it would be cool and maybe people would want to do it. And you know what? For something like that, that's really cool. What you can do is, if the league is not mandatory, what you can do is you can switch. Yeah, you can make it niche per league, and then not make it at the 4 different corners. I think you make maybe 2 different things, and then you make it significant. But I'm sure they'll have a bunch of discussions about this later on in the internal office, you know, stuff that's going on. Maybe, but I'm not sure because I don't think it's necessary. If they do it correctly, it can be good and fun, but it's not necessary. And I agree that they should have very strong internal discussions about what they need to do next time to make it better. And unless they really feel strongly like it's actually going to make the league better, they should just leave it until they all get to that point. Let's see. So a new strength skill gem, Eviscerate. Retaliate against a blocked hit with a arcing slash that releases 2 waves of force. Enemies in front of you can be hit by both waves. Requires a sword or axe and a shield. Now, here's the thing that I'm wondering about. There's a weapon. I think there's a weapon. There's a weapon that counts as all weapon types. Ah, Vanasura. Okay, Vanasura. This is what I'm... I wanna... Let's check this out. Var... Yeah, there you go. Varu Nostra. Yeah. Varu Nostra. Okay. This one. Okay, physical damage. Ooh. It's got a lot of fizz damage. Counts as a one-handed melee weapon, as all one-handed melee weapon types. It's a 2-handed sword, counts as all one-handed melee weapon types. So, if we go to... Yeah, we can use Eviscerate. Offhand dual-wielding setup. Basically an offhand dual-wielding setup. Yeah. But, look at this. So the Gladiator Ascendancy has this one. Weapon Master Ascendancy. 25. So with this weapon, we can also get 25% more accuracy, 20% more AoE, 20% more crit strike chance, and 20% instant leech, and 30% more damage with hits and ailments against enemies that are on low life. So, and it counts as a one-handed, deals increased damage with one-handed weapons. Yeah, I'm wondering what they're doing with the Scion. Ascendant. Yeah, Gladiator Ascendancy no longer provides a hits, ignore enemy, monster, physical damage. Okay. It now provides this. 25% aggravated bleeding on targets. Gain 50% base chance to block from shield instead of shield's value. Inherent bonuses from dual wielding are doubled. And deal 1% more damage with hits and ailments to rare and unique enemies for every 2 seconds they've ever been in your presence. Okay, so it doesn't affect anything with that. This is I'm interested in seeing what this, because this is a lot of extra fizz damage. So the Gladiator has this weapons damage thing. And then all the bleed stuff and the block stuff. Can you block with a... You can block with a one-handed... Oh, this is going to be weird. I'm going to have to do a lot of research on this. Because imagine you had a weapon with one... Yeah, that's with one ascendancy node that said 2 to 3 mana per enemy hit, and then plus 300 to 370 fizz damage. Yeah. Like with this Weapon Master, plus 20% accuracy, plus 20% more critical strike. These are all more modifiers. That's the thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird. It's a more... All these things are more modifiers. I don't think it's worth the headache. Maybe not, Prometheus. Maybe not. But we'll see. I'm very curious. I'm going to be doing a lot of thinking about this because I love Gladiator. The Gladiator Ascendancy was the first Ascendancy I reached over level 90 with. I was doing Delirium League. It was the funnest league of all time when I did this because I was like, I finally understand the game. Like, I finally understand it, and then I realized I didn't understand it. But I got something from it. Like, I finally figured, like, okay, I know a little bit about what's going on. We'll see. I'm going to take a look. Bleed looks ridiculous, this league. Bleeding looks absolutely just broken. I think Bleed is the way to go, 100%. Yeah. Instant leech for survival, more damage. It's all more damage, more defense, more accuracy, crit strike. Like it seems all like this is a really cool ascendancy with that. I'm going to try to see if I can make a build with this Varnustra and Gladiator. I'm going to see if I can do it. But it might be niche. We'll see. We'll see. But Bleed is good. Bleed is just amazing. Yeah. that's yeah, maybe. It is a rare sword. It is a hard sword to get. So maybe. It really depends on how much block you can get with it. It is. I'm not sure what tier of unique it is. But I think it's I think it's a tier 1. It's not a tier 0, I don't think, but I think it's a tier 1. But it can be chanced, and it's a Vol Blade. And there's only 2. Rebuke of the Vol and Vanasura. There's only 2, so you can chance it. You can chance it. Okay. Let's see. The other ascendancies, anything big happening? Berserker doesn't get +10 to maximum rage. Instead, it now gets every rage grants 1 increased attack speed. And inherent rage loss starts 2 seconds later. Okay. Small passive gets the... Okay, whatever. Oh, yeah. I'll check that out after I check out the ascendancies. I heard them mention that briefly, so I want to check that out. Rite of Rune no longer provides inherent effects having rage are tripled. Now provides 50% increased rage effect. Ew. Warbringer Ascendancy no longer provides work. Okay. These are nerfs. Work rights grant 10 rage per 5 power if you have less than 20. Now grant sacrifice 10 rage. Well, at least if you have at least 25 rage. Or. Oh. Oh, Berserker got nerfed. Berserker got nerfed hard. Berserker got nerfed hard. They gave it more uptime for exertions, but the max damages it can do are way less. Also, this... What is this ore? Oh, I see. So it took all of this out. It took out all of this, and it said now it just exerts twice as many attacks. That's a big nerf. That's a big nerf. Because getting 10 rage per 5 power if you have less than 25% rage, that's a big nerf. That's a huge nerf. Huge nerf to rage. For Berserker. Wow. Town is Forest Strength Ascendancy passive skill. Whoa! They removed it, but the Forbidden Jewels still work? Whoa. Yeah, that's true. I think this was... Okay. Why did they remove it? Wait, why did they give Chieftain the Berserker power? Wait. What about... It's the banner rework. Okay, Red Blade banner is not getting changed. Interesting. Okay, let's look at Berserk. No longer provides more damage with attacks, more attack speed, more movement speed, or less damage taken. It now provides increased rage effects. Okay. Just increases rage. Does it still... I wonder if it still depletes at the same point. Like if it still reduces rage. Like if it still costs rage. Then that's a big nerf. Huge nerf. Only 40% increased rage effect? Because rage effect no longer affects movement speed. Nobody's going to be running Berserk unless they're... I don't know, man. That's... Because the less damage taken was a huge reason for people to run Berserk. That's a big nerf. That's a big nerf. I don't know if it's worth it. Unless they slow the amount that Berserk takes away, I don't think it is. I think you just want to keep you're just going to want to keep your rage because I don't think it's because it's an increase. If it was a more multiplier, maybe. If it was more, then maybe, but increased, I don't think so. I don't think that's enough. I don't think so. All the fast magic finders are peeved right now. Snoo is probably like, what? Quantity? What? Nah, he has fun. He has fun in the game, but like the fact that they got rid of quantity on stuff is gonna totally redo Magic Find. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Expert retaliation. Sports retaliation skills. Causes them to have more cooldown recovery rate. Okay, glacial shield swipe. Retaliate against a blocked hit with a swipe of your shield, unleashing a wave of ice in a cone in front of you. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But they were the ones who were magic finders were the ones who were like really abusing rage, movement speed, and attack speed. I'm really not sure about rage now. Like, you have more access to it, but really it's only for weapon damage. Maybe it's good, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Chains that bind might be really good, though. That might be a very nice... that might be a buff to the chains that bind Timeless Jewel. Because rage might actually be a thing now. Let's check out. Chains that bind. No, not chains that bind. What is that? I think it's a brutal restraint, isn't it? No. No, not Lethal Pride, then it has to be Lethal Pride. Chainbreaker. 2 casino slot machine for you, yeah, okay. 1 rage generator for every 25 mana, yeah, okay. I mean, this might be good. Exactly. You get a lot more damage from having max, like a yo-yo damage swing. Yeah, but if you can get Chainbreaker going, right? That might be worth it. Skills cost 3 rage. Maybe. I'm not sure. The whole thing, Val skills cost 100% less. That item, that craft from runes, that's going to be huge. Added dexterity, strength, support gem, supported attack skills, critical strikes which inflict bleeding with supported skills also inflict rupture. What the hell is rupture? What the heck is rupture? What is rupture? I don't know. That's interesting. We don't know what it is. Let's see. Rupture? A debuff that causes affected target. No. 24% more damage from bleeding. Oh. Oh, right. Okay. 25% more damage to bleeding? It's a more multiplier? It's bleeding. I gotta go bleeding. I'm gonna have to make a bleeding gladiator. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. Bleeding is gonna be too big. With Crimson Dance, if you can have 8 bleeds on people and it's aggravated and with Rupture, that's crazy. That's crazy dot multi. That's crazy damage over time. And then given the fact that you're going to be able to get a physical damage over time multiplier stuff going on, yeah, that's crazy. If you can have 8 bleeds on people? No, never used Rupture. No. No, I've never played it as Deadeye, actually. Never played as a Deadeye. Retaliate against a blocked hit with a surge of divine power causing multiple waves of lightning blast to expand outward. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. New Arsenal of Vengeance, Keystone. Damaging retaliation skills become usable every 6th hit from enemies instead. Okay. Oh, I didn't see that link. Sorry, Prometheus. Can you send it to me over over Twitch? Whisper me on Twitch. Oh, Hateforge. Yeah. I know Hateforge. Yeah, but this is only Vol attack skills. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's see. Where was that? No, it's back here.
The Kalguur and tech benefits don't end there. We're also bringing back a formerly over... This is operated by Danik himself, using powerful Kalguur and blacksmithing arts. He can engrave runic magic onto your weapons using runes. They're to take powerful effects you would usually only...
Okay. Socketed Vol skills have 100% reduced soul gain prevention duration. I'm not sure. So no. I think you'd still want yeah. You'd still want to do. But this is better because it's all Vol skills. The rage aspect of it. Actually, that's a buff to Vol skills because rage also on the tree is more accessible. So, yeah. But I'm not sure why they put the infinite rage on the chieftain instead of the berserker. That doesn't make sense to me. That should be on the berserker. Because you want the ability to gain infinite rage on the berserker. Yeah. The rage aspect of it is going to be... It's going to be good if you can get rage easily. And rage, like, Hateforge is good because rage is easier to get. If rage is easier to get. So Vol attack skills will be better. But this one is even better because it's all Vol skills. And Vol defensive skills, non-Vol attack skills, like Vol haste, what is it, the Vol ice one? Infinite rage? Yeah. Wait. So with Red Blade Banner, you would gain the same thing as this. War cries have infinite power. And oh, I guess this is infinite power. So that's the shield. Usually it used to be this. War cries grant 10 rage per 5 power. That's the it used to be on the Berserker. Okay. So I sorry, misspoke. You're right. You're right. So war cries, if with the Red Blade Banner on Berserker, you used to be able to get, because Red Blade Banner has this, war cries have infinite power, and war cries get 10 rage per 5 power. So you used to be able to just always fill up your rage bar with war cries, but now they're removing that. There's no way to gain infinite, like max out your rage. But they're adding more stuff onto the tree. So Hateforge probably is going to be more useful, but also this Socketed Vol skills have reduced soul gain prevention. That's going to be really good. 1% more attack damage per rage. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Max rage, you can get up to 60, I think, max rage. There's an axe that gives you another 10, and then there was some stuff on the tree that you could get another no, there was an axe that, no, you could get like 75 or almost 80. There was an axe, the axe from Heist gives you 20% more, 20 more rage, and on a tree you could get another 5 more rage, so you could get 75 rage max, I think. Maybe 80. There was a belt you could get rage too, I think. Maybe. The big thing with rage was the damage reduction that you got from Berserk. Because what you could do is you could have Berserk running, and then you could just War Cry, and then Berserk would, like, you, and then your rage would go all the way up to the max again, and Berserk would count down again. So you could have a pretty consistent Berserk stuff going on. So yeah, that's the main thing that was going on with that. It does do more damage. I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Yeah. It's possible it would. It's possible it would. I think something like that. I haven't done the math, but yeah. You would do 75% more. Not consistent, but yeah. I mean, there's enough gain plus whatever rage on hit probably now that you could make it consistent. Like, not super consistent, but probably like a 30% more damage. Yeah, true. Very true. Could be something you want to do just with bosses. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Players who... Oh, wait. No, we went down too far. Okay. Rupture. Okay. We did Rupture, Intelligence, Retribution. Okay. Arsenal of Vengeance Keystone to the south of Duelist starting location. Damage retaliation skills becomes usable every 6 hit. Okay. Added 60 new armor. Base types. That's nice. Combine it with an exerted attack. Yeah. Or like a multiple exerted attack. The following uniques have been added to the core drop pool. Gratis Signet, Valis Inheritance, the Hand of Phreatia, and... So these are all the ones from the last league. They're in the core drop pool. Added some more uniques. New divination cards. A Maven's Maven's Chisel. These are all Maven's drops. Do these all only drop from the Maven? Interesting. Prismatic Oil, 3 new Grandmasters. Monster health bars. Display whether they are armored. Oh, nice. Okay. So a self-found no longer requires you if you've previously freed the Scion on your account. That's weird. I didn't even know that existed. Creating a solo self-found character no longer requires you to have previously freed the Scion on your account. That's interesting. Added a slot for stacked decks on the currency stash tab. Yay! Okay, added a number of new small improvements. Do it really strong Rage Vortex, because that was, what, like 3 seconds? It implies that, but who knows if it's a boss drop, it's going to be quite rare. Yeah, they're definitely going to be worth some money, that's for sure. Melee totem skills are gone. To compensate, they buff damage on every melee skill. These are no longer, okay, War Chief, Ancestral War Chief, Earthbreaker, players who purchase the Iron Maiden. Microtransaction will have these removed after launch, and the points we spent on these micro will return to your account. Thank you, GGG, but I didn't do that, so that's okay. Forbidden Shaco, Replica Dragonflights, they will be replaced by another gem, maybe automatically, I don't know. Rage Vortex. Rage Vortex now has 42% effectiveness of base added damage at gem level 1. Rage Storm now deals 10% more damage per 1 rage sacrifice at all gem levels. That's pretty cool. 42% effectiveness. Wait, maybe it's here. Rage Vortex. Sacrifices rage when creating a rage storm. Right? This is base radius. And it's lose 3 rage per second. I don't know. Are those different? Yeah. That's true. Build up rage, release rage vortex. 2-button builds don't generally fare well, though, unless they're super strong. Gain more attack damage. You lose 10 rage every second if you have not been hit or gained rage in the past 2 seconds. Yeah, you're sacrificing rage to make this, though. So I'm not sure. Yeah. I understand, but you're also sacrificing, because if on the quality you get more damage per rage. Yeah. Wait, what? On the quality you get more damage per rage. Well, you sacrifice more rage. So you get more rage sacrificed. So you can get up to 25% of your rage sacrificed. And it does 5 more damage per 1 rage sacrificed. So if you sacrifice, let's see, 13 rage, generally, you're going to get 75% more damage plus 75 plus another 80, 95. It's going to be like 100 100 and something, like 120 something more damage. It's going to be 120 something more. $75. It could be. That is a lot. It really depends on how cumbersome it is to constantly be sacrificing the rage and how much you can generate. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to take a look at the numbers. Okay, Reign of Arrows now has mana. Oh wait. We jumped a whole bunch of stuff here. Melee skills. Players who have purchased this extended version of Forbidden Shaco change. Dawn Strider unique boots no longer provides increased effective buffs for your ancestor. It now has socketed slam gems are supported by level 25 Earthbreaker and provides ancestral bond. What? Oh, so that's a buff to Dawn Striders. This unique is now the only source of Earthbreaker. Supported skills deal less damage. Oh, cool. Interesting. So it makes a makes the totem. Okay. Buffs from so it makes the totem. Oh, interesting. It makes a totem that'll use your weapon. That's interesting. That might be a valuable unique now. Well, 5 link with Earthbreaker. And you get more totems. Interesting. Bust from mastery been removed. Large wheel of totem passive skills. Ironwood no longer provides totems. Yeah, totem stuff's all removed. Okay. Banners are free. But now you need to use them. This is going to be hard for me. I'm going to have to practice with banners. Yeah, Earthshatter Warcry combos are going to be really cool. Bannerman has been added to the south as a duelist location. Bannerman no longer grants. Okay. Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking. Like, unless they're providing a much bigger buff than what they already are. It's going to be good for people who are doing, like, speed runs. But, you know, even then they're going to let them go after Act 2, probably. Yeah, that's not enough. New Bannerman Renowned Deeds cluster has been added to the south of the duelist. 15% increase in non-curse auras from skills. 15%. Yeah, not enough. Banners also grant 30% increased attack damage. It's increased, not enough. It now grants banner buffs linger on you for 3 seconds after you leave the area, and banner skills have 20% increased duration. Roundies grant plus 30% maximum valor. Yeah, I just don't think it's enough. They need to buff them more. Banners also maim enemies. Maybe that's worth it. Banners maim enemies. That's pretty good. Remove a random ailment when you consume at least 10 valor to place a banner. Recover 3% of life per 5 valor consumed to place a banner. Banners cause enemies to take 8% increased damage. I'm not sure because it's all increased. It's not more multiplier, so I'm not sure. Rage, more fundamental and discoverable. Grants 1 more... You lose run rage every 1 second if you've not been hit or gained rage. Many sources now generate rage more quickly. There's now shared cooldown, preventing you from generating rage on hit for more than 1 hit every 5 seconds. Oh, it's a shared cooldown. EU. Number of rage stats have had their wording updated. Rage effects apply to the damage inherently gained by rage. Other bonuses granted per X rage if you have any bonuses while you have a certain amount of rage or other effects that refer to your rage, but do not cause rage to grant additional stats will not be affected. Okay. Berserker's Chainbaker, and Calm Spirit have been updated to state that rage regeneration stats do not delay inherent or loss of rage. Okay. Bear's Girdle no longer has increased maximum per 10 rage. This change affects existing items. No! And now is plus 10% to maximum rage. Previously 20. And a Divine Orb can use to attain this value on existing items. Don't do it. Okay. Calm Primacy Unique also no longer has gain 1 rage on hit. No more than once. It now grants 5 rage on melee hit. Ooh, that's nice. That might be a buff to that. Rage cast instead of attack speed. This seems like... Wow, a lot of rage changes. Holy cow. 3 rage on melee hit plus 10 to maximum rage. 4 on previously plus 15 to maximum rage. Psychotic is now 5 rage on melee hit. Okay, so they're taking away max rage in favor of gain rage on hit. I like that change. That's a better change. Battle Trance Cluster. Oh, they're putting it on the tree instead. Okay, good to know. Vengeance Cluster has been added to the Duelist. Vengeance provides each rage gets 1% increased armor. Ooh, and gain 3 rage when hit by an enemy. Nice. Okay. Savage Intensity gains 20% increased cost of attack, so you have at least 20 rage. And inherent loss of rage is slower. Inherent loss of rage starts 1 second later. Okay. Interesting. Tinctures. Tinctures can be used by all melee people. This is going to be good for bleed. Also. Here. This is a big one. Bleed is it. Bleed is it. I'm going bleed, man. I'm going to go bleed gladiator. There's nothing that's going to stop me now. Look at that. Blood-soaked blade keystone passive skill to the southeast of the duelist. Bloodstone blade causes tinctures to inflict weeping wounds instead of mana burn, draining your life instead of mana. The poison tincture, if it worked the same? I'm not sure if it does. But the fact that you can do tinctures and also they do a life and you can have instant life regen, that's going to make tinctures have super good uptime. Elemental poison? Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm not sure. Not sure. We'll have to see. I'm not sure what tinctures are available. Let's take a look. I know they had them here somewhere. Okay, so tincture. Maybe they added them already to the website. Fire resistance, lightning resistance. List of tincture mods. List of tinctures. Okay. It doesn't have one yet. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look at that. So this one had increased elemental damage from melee weapons for prismatic. There's no prismatic one here. So, yeah, doesn't really give me a lot of hope. I'm not sure. Yeah. Too many unknowns. Like the runes, yeah, you don't know what they're gonna put on the crafting, so we're not sure. Nature's concoction. Okay. So tinctures are gonna be a ranger thing. That means duelist. It's actually a buff to duelists because duelist has really easy access to the ranger's part of the tree. So duelist is going to be the way to go, I think. I have no question. I'm going to be duelist, gladiator, bleed, just going full on for it. Okay, so they changed all the skill gems. Scion Raider node? Oh, I'll have to check that out. Okay, so I'm going to have to look at all these retaliation skills to figure out which ones I want. But it's going to be, generally speaking, block to do damage. New fragment. The name taker and the trickster's uniques are no longer part of the core drop pool. Can now instead be dropped from monsters in the wood. As Zamiri would. Never been a fan of a thorn build. Oh, yeah, it's not about, but thorns is more like however much damage you take, that's how much damage you do. What I'm thinking more is like, I'm going to be doing damage and doing counterattacks. But I'm not sure because dual wielding gets you block, but I'm not sure about with the it is quite passive. But if you have lucky block chance with max block, it's going to be super nice for clearing. Not going to be so good for bosses. That's fair. That's fair. I'm going to have to look at what other bleed stuff is available. You cannot block your own hit. No, I don't think so. Yeah. You're like just smacking on your shield and then like that's casting stuff. Yeah, that would be awesome. Sentinels, scarabs, monsters. They covered most of this. Okay, and these are all the different scarab reworks. Okay. Monsters killed from all leagues and additional content can now drop maps. Previously, most of the monsters were prevented from dropping maxes except for bosses and elite monsters. Okay. Blight. Beyond Scarab of the Invasion now causes rare monsters to create additional Beyond portals. Okay. Delirium Scarab of Mania. Divination Scarab has been renamed Divination Scarab of the Cloister. It no longer provides increased divination cards. Instead, it now grants area contains additional packs of these devoted, which have a chance to drop stack decks. Okay, that's a nerf. Probably. Oh, they should. They definitely should make a unique shield for that. That'd be cool. The Divination Scarab of Curation has been renamed Divination Scarab of Plenty. No longer provides, 10% more. It now causes up to 3 packs of magic monsters to drop additional divination cards. Nerf. Nerf. Thorn Shield. Yeah, Thorn Shield. That'd be awesome. Divination Scarab of Completion has been renamed Divination Scarab of Pilfering. Okay, yeah, Divination's got Scarabs got reworked. Domination Scarab reworked. Yeah. Two additional apparition shrines and an additional unusual shrine. Okay. Domination Scarab Teaching, renamed Domination Scarab Evolution. It now causes area to contain additional evolving shrine instead of causing shrine buffs. Oh, that's too bad. This is one of the things I loved most about the League. That was so nice. Oh, why did they do that? That's so sad. That was one of the things that was really nice about the League, actually. Like, the fact that you could actually get to 100 at a pretty consistent for all your characters. It almost makes me want to make a new character right now just to get... Because I was able to get a base ranger and a base marauder up to level 100. And so I don't have a duelist and I don't have in standard. I don't have a duelist. I don't have a witch. I don't have a shadow at level 100 because it's like they're all at level 90 something, but it's getting that last level is so ridiculous. That's sad. That's a bit sad. This is a nerfed. A lot of the scarabs got nerfed. No more map doubling. Yep. Yeah, for the like bossing map stuff, like it was really ridiculous getting a bunch of maps for all of the Shaper Elder Guardians as well as Cirrus Guardians and the unique maps. Yep. And you could use map bosses to like throughout the whole map. Yeah, you just get ridiculous amounts of drops. Ha! Nerf to mysterious scarabs. That's funny. That's interesting. The reliquary scarab got buffed. Yeah, the reliquary scarabs got buffed. Oh, okay. Ritual got reworked. Ritual might be actually a really good farm this league. And the Scarab of Wisp got buffed. Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Titanic Scarab apply to map boss or rogues. The Titanic Scarabs, these are all reliquaries, so it no longer provides increased unique items. Instead, it now provides unique monsters, have 2% increased toughness. Unique monsters applies to rogues and map bosses, so this is all unique. This applies to rogues, so this is a buff to rogues. Titanic Scarabs of Treasures. Unique monsters have 2 additional rewards and 30 toughness. Yeah, that's rogues and bosses. Anything that says unique monsters, if it's a unique monster, it's a unique monster. Rogues are uniques, also map bosses. So anything that says unique monsters affects both map bosses and rogues. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Especially with all the rogue scarabs. Oh, all of these scarabs are no longer obtained, can no longer be obtained, but they're not affected. Okay. So these scarabs are all going into Legacy? That's interesting. Yeah. How many of each scarab can be used alongside a single map and have made adjustments where necessary. Okay. Monsters tier 17 now have less life and deal less damage. Souls can no longer be rolled. Yay! Less clicking. Yes, less clicking is good. Exclusive tier 17 maps now have increased rarity and quantity ratios more in line with the regular map modifiers. Okay, good. Area 2 additional volatile barrels is removed. Volatile barrels is gone. Chance for rare monsters to fracture on death. That's kind of cool. I like that change. That's a good change. Double anointed amulets can now drop in blight ravaged maps. Nice. Monsters and ultimatum encounters drop loot once again. Oh, cool. So ultimatum might be better now. Hordes and abyssal adepts now drop more items. Some of the beasts from Einar's memory have been added. That's gonna, yeah, Einar's memories are gonna be a little less valuable, but beast farming is gonna be more valuable. This is probably gonna be super good early league. Fortification safe house. No, domination scarabs doesn't apply to ruthless. Now have a chance to find a gloom shrine or charge shrine areas. Divine shrines are now rarer. Just a drop rate of all those puzzle boxes. We're doing alleyways. Okay. City squares back in. That's nice. Anything else? I like chateau. Okay, removed. Anything big? Frozen lava chamber, mineral pools, park, phantasmagoria. Yeah, okay. It's bad for people doing conversions with the Taste of Hate flask. Plaza, thicket, tower, volcano, wastelands, wasteful waterways, and wharf. Oh, nice. Wait, did they not remove? There's no glacier is still in. Nice, excellent. Map pictures and locations have been shuffled. Some of the map bosses changed. Recipes found within other maps. Okay. Delirium, they already went over with. Corpses can be farmed as rewards. Lowest tier ritual bases cannot be found in maps. Highest tier can only be found in maps with area 80 level 83 or higher. Might be good to run ritual in tier 17 maps so you can get the higher level bases. Archachievement Crown implicit is -2 to socketed supported gems and +2 to level of socketed skill gems instead of socketed skills apply fire, cold, lightning, exposure on hit. I'm not sure exactly. This is actually... That's going to make the helmet a competitive slot for either auras or for automation with war cries. Because those are all support. Those are not support gems. Automation gems are not support gems. They're active skill gems. So that's going to be interesting. Brimstone Treads. Modifiers now increase stun and block recovery and 20% reduced stun threshold. Replacing that. Okay. Debilitation gauntlets have been renamed to thwarting gauntlets. Implicit modifiers now chance to block attack damage. Nice. You take 10% of damage from block hits. This replaces previously exerted attacks, deal damage, and Warcry skill. Okay, so they changed it to a Gladiator one. Dream Quest Slippers now 10% reduced movement speed and 50% increased cooldown recovery rate of movement skills. Helm for minions. The only problem with that is that minions generally want to have support gems, and this does the -2 to support gems. Like, what minions? I'm not sure. Like, what minions do you only want the minion support and not other support skills? Could be. I think for probably for what's its for Spectres it's better. For Spectres it's a lot better. Because you can have the +2 to minion, and then you can have the +3 to minion skills in the helm, right? Or +2 to minion skills in the helm, and +2 on the implicit. For Spectres, yeah, that's good. But I think Spectres, if you're going Spectres, they want that new unique helmet. They want that reworked unique helmet, anyways, don't they? I'm not sure. Ah, okay. Might be worth it. Yeah. Let's see. Sinistral gloves. Trapper gloves no longer provide 20% reduced attack damage. And okay. Instead, reduce cooldown recovery rate of traps. Oh, so it's a trap glove. Nice. Yeah, me too. I've been out of the minion game for a long time. Penitent Mass is plus more to maximum chaos res, which is nice. Yay! Back to basics. Gone. Back to basics is gone. Wonderful. That's a great choice. Doubled Speaker of the Dead Keystone. That's cool. It's gonna. A lot of people are gonna be ghosting again this league. Oh, packed with energy now causes you to gain sulfite intoxication. Grants 30% increased damage, increased movement speed, and +1 to all maximum elemental resistances. Intoxication lasts 60 seconds. So did they just change? Was that a buff? I'm not sure. I can't remember what the old values were. Oh, less quantity. Wow, they're nerfing quantity. They're hardcore nerfing quantity. Okay, I'm not sure. I haven't done Syndicate in a while, so I'm not sure about this. Beyond, okay. Spores of the Wild now is Templar Ingenuity. Blight towers can be salvaged after the Blight encounter. High tier towers grant more salvage rewards. Okay, so they're buffing Blight. Blight is going to be good. Blight is going to be really good this league. Oh, but that's a bit of a nerf. Oh, well, and that's a buff. Interesting. Monster increase item rarity and quantity. Okay. This is probably really big here, actually. Quantity and rarity items dropped from extra content has been changed. Generally, we have added item quantity or rarity bonuses to a number of mechanics. On top of that, we have added drops back into some leagues where it wasn't present before, like Ultimatum. In general, the philosophy is that if you're killing monsters, you get loot. Major change we've made alongside the above is that we have changed a lot of the quantity and rarity bonuses on monsters to prevent things from multiplying out of control at the very top end. There were cases where utilized by few to 100 players in total in a league, and they were able to yield tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of unique items dropping in every map, while not even playing in a party, and as such had a monopoly on the unique item market. If you were wondering why many teaser uniques so drastically in value during Acropolis League, it was due to this. This wasn't them explaining the game, just the maximum capacity of rewards. By changing this severely limits the runaway cases without affecting the experience of average users or even of above average users. Okay. Yeah, that didn't have any effect on me. Player increase item quantity on all character items have been removed. Magic Find is another gear. Okay, you still want people to be able to invest in Magic Find only through rarity. Bisco's Collar, gone. Okay, so Bisco's collars are going to be worth something in Legacy. Aesthetic, gone. Sedima's Touch, change to rarity. Brandis, unique belt, rarity. Bisco's Leash, change to rarity. Divination Distillate. Divination Distillates. Get them while you can. Thieves Torment, unique. Has 20% rarity, change to rarity. Okay, all these things, change to rarity, change. Player balance, corpses, spectral corpses, item corpses. Okay. Weird. Okay, corpses spawned by Desecrate and Corpse Walk skills now have a flat 15% chance to match your specters, rather than 15% chance of being added to the main pool of corpse varieties that can be picked from. These specter corpses are now unusable for most purposes and can only be used by minion skills such as Raise Spectre or Bone Offering. Okay. So it's a nerf to specters? What? Player spawned corpses are no longer affected by modifiers on maps. It's a nerf to specters. Ward buff. Ward loops are going to be a little bit harder now. Dual wielding grants 20% chance to block attack damage and 10 more attack speed. Skills that use melee strike animation now have more consistent swing speed. Okay, player minions are no longer targetable by enemies while player has the grace period buff. You can no longer be stunned. While performing Val skill before the contact point has been reached, you cannot be stunned while performing the spell animation of Val Smite, and you cannot be stunned while performing Val Breach. Okay. Skill gem changes. Divine Blessing removed. No longer have physical tag. Blade Flurry. Okay, no longer. These are no longer physical gems? What? Okay. Divine Blessing is gone. Divine Blessing is gone. Divine Bless. No more. No more free auras. No more free auras. Wow. That's a big change. That's a really big change. Okay, so they're doing some new attack stuff. Wait, multi-strike now described they cannot support travel skills. Okay. Some attack skills that can be used with range or melee have had their weapon requirements split. Okay. So puncture skill requires a bow. The elemental hit skill requires a melee weapon. Oh. Yeah. That's interesting. The frenzy skill now requires a bow or a wand. Frenzy of Onslaught requires a melee weapon or unarmed. Ooh. Wow, big shakeup with bow builds here. They were weird to begin with. I totally agree. But like a lot of people were using Frenzy of Onslaught with Mana Forged arrows for the automated onslaught, and now that's not possible. They cannot do that. Nope, I don't either. I think it's a good change. Okay, I'll look over all the gem changes. I'm gonna have to look at all the bleed skills and stuff. That's gonna be a big thing. There's a lot of gem changes. A lot of these are, yeah, it's just way too much. Vol skills. No added attack fill gem levels now is effectiveness. Yeah, all the same with the Vol skills. Support skills, anything crazy. Chance to bleed can now support skills that create minions. Ooh. That's good. Chance to bleed on minions now. No longer causes supported attacks to deal added physical damage with weapons. Support attacks now deal 10% more damage with bleeding at one. That's good. Earthbreaker, still a gem. Okay, Fist of War no longer has. Instead has ancestrally boost slams, deal more damage with hits. Now applies to ailments of the same value. Yeah, bleed zombies. That'll be interesting. Impending Doom was buffed. No, nerfed. Impending Doom was nerfed. Okay, increased duration, more duration support. You guessed it. Now grants the supported skills have more skill effect duration at gem level 1. What? It's more instead of increased? That's awesome. That might make it better for dot builds to use than other multipliers. I'm not sure. That's awesome. Really good for all the phasing skills, all the movement skills that are on duration. Infused channeling no longer has a duration tag. It's now an intelligence dexterity support. Requires 70. No longer has infusion, last 6 and gain infusion. Supported gems. Wait. It now has, while channeling a supported skill, take 8% less damage from hits. Ooh. No, probably not. I wouldn't think so. Hex Blast seems pretty, like, it's good, but it seems pretty fair. It's a really good skill, but it might have, it's probably buffed actually just because of all the defense changes. We'll see. Infused channeling is better. Channeling skills got buffed with this. Because less damage taken from hits. Especially with increased quality. That's awesome. Spin to win. Inspiration now causes supported skills to have less mana cost instead of reduced. Okay. I think that's a bonus. Prismatic Burst now has 100% effectiveness. That's a bit of a nerf. Rage no longer causes support attacks to deal fitted damage with weapons for 10 rage. Okay. Instead, it has gain 3 rage on attack hit at all gem levels and causes supported skills to have 10% increased attack speed, while you have at least 10 rage at gem level 1, scaling to 19% at 20. Oh, so they moved the attack speed from rage to the gem, or half of it anyways. A little bit less than half. A third of it. Yeah, a third of it. Shockwave. Nerfed. Trauma. Trauma nerfed. Makes sense. Yeah, trauma had to be nerfed because the increased damage percentage on all the, it's still a buff for anybody who wants to do trauma stacks. Urgent orders. No longer cooldown. Just a cost and reservation multiplier. That's cool. That's nice. That's interesting. Okay. Berserker, Chieftain, and Juggernaut. We went over the Berserker, a little bit Chieftain. Juggernaut. Gonna be a little bit harder for that chaos res. 15% of armor applies to chaos damage taken from hits. Okay, so they switched it from armor. Oh, that's nice. Okay, then shifting to chaos damage. That'll be okay. Okay. Small Juggernaut essentially provides plus 6% attack speed. Now provides 5%. Okay. Champion, Unstoppable Hero, swapped positions with Fortitude. Unstoppable Hero no longer grants attack speed of Fortified. Or instead it now provides nearby allies count as having fortification equal to yours. Ooh, Champion nerf. Champion nerf. Ooh, big nerf for Champion. Fortitude Ascendancy now provides you a 15 fortification. Yeah, big nerf to Champion. Inspire no longer provides banner skills have no reservation. Now that is when you yeah, champion got nerfed. Gladiators where it's at. Okay, the Deadeye Ascendancy no longer provides damage as they travel further. It now provides gain a frenzy charge every 3 seconds while moving. Huh. That's pretty good. Raider Ascendancy is now called Warden. And no longer... Instead, it now causes attack damage to penetrate 8% of element and resistance pride. You can have an additional tincture active. Oh, that's pretty good for Ascendants. Yeah, melee Ascendants. There are now more notables on the passive tree than there are oil combinations to anoint them all. Uh-oh. As a result of this, notable passive skills that provide plus 30 to an attribute can no longer be anointed. Well, that makes sense. Nobody was anointing those anyways. The Volpack Keystone skill no longer provides any of its current stats. Okay, Impaler. Buffed. Versatile Combat. Changed. Warlord's Call. Doesn't affect us as a corrupted blood collar at all. Perfect Agony no longer modifies your critical strike multiplier to apply damage over time for ailments. Instead, it now causes damage over time multiplier for ailments to be equal to critical strike multiplier. Causes critical strikes to not deal extra damage. Instead, it now causes damage over time multiplier for ailments to be equal to critical strike multiplier. Wait. What? Crit strike multiplier applies to damage over time multiplier now? Is that, am I reading that correctly? Critical strikes do not deal extra damage. Non-critical strikes cannot inflict ailments. But that's, what? What? Are you serious? That is a huge buff for Toxic Rain. No. Not for Toxic Rain. Not for Corrupted Blood. Anything that it automatically inflicts an ailment. It's not a if it's not a strike. Yeah, for Ignite maybe. But what about Self-Ignite? It's on the other part of the tree. That's a big buff for Toxic Rain, though. That's a huge buff for Toxic Rain. That's a really, really... Wow. Wait a minute. Path of build. I'm gonna go to path of building here for a second. I'm just looking it up real quick, cause that's crazy. There's a ton of critical strike multiplier nodes. Like, yeah. Like Nightblade. All those critical strike multipliers on the bow. Interesting. Heartseeker. Projectile attack, like lethality, that branch. Wow. Perfect Agony is going to be that's a big buff, I think. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, new bleeding passive mastery, 25% chance to aggravated bleed on targets you hit with exerted attacks. There's probably other ways to get aggravated bleeding, so probably not worth it. Add a new as the Thunder cluster, new brutal skewering, cornered prey, feline swiftness. There's a bunch of new clusters. Wall of Steel cluster, another cluster. Attack passive mastery causes nearby enemies to be intimidated while you have a rage. Has been replaced with a new passive mastery of attack skills cost life instead of 20% of mana cost. Oh, okay. Bleeding passive mastery provides 6 rate increase damage of bleeding inflicted. The new mastery provides 50% chance to aggravate bleeding on targets you stun with attack hits. Weird. Okay. I'm gonna have to look over all these bleeding ones. But yeah, I think I think bleeding is just the way to go. It seems like it might just be better. Cause crit bleed with perfect agony? Ooh. Ooh, maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to do a lot of research. Look at all these changes to the tree. Holy cow. Unique item changes. Adorned, nerfed. Dancing Dervish, buffed. Defiance of Destiny. Ooh, that's a big nerf. That's a big nerf. Defiance of Destiny got nerfed. Increased Elixir of the Unbroken Circle, buffed. Eternal Damnation. I don't know, I've never used that. Another fervent Calm's Heart is buffed. That's cool. Lethal Pride added physical damage taken to fire donables and now give +1 rage on melee hit. Okay. Just changed a little bit of the wording. Night Grip. Perfect Unique no longer has. You have 2 different banners at the same time. Banners. Okay. It now has, having placed a banner does not prevent you gaining Valor. Oh, wow. That's interesting. That might actually be worth it for somebody who wants to do banners. Innsbury Edge got nerfed? What? Weird. Taste of Hate. Nerfed. That's a big nerf for Taste of Hate. Ooh, ouch. Ooh, ouch. Okay. Reckless Defiance. Okay, yeah, that's a big nerf. And this is a slight buff. Okay. Quality has been reworked. Rewards for league content that granted 30% quality equipment now grants 20%. Bestiary Recipe. Corrupt equipment to have 30% quality now corrupts a map to have 30% quality. That's cool. What? Glass blowers baubles are gonna be worth chaos. That you can't buy. Okay. Glass blowers baubles are gonna be worth some money. Oh, maximum quality from Tainteds are 20%. Aww. Okay. What about the non-gem items that generate a random quality can now generate up to 30% quality? Okay. Well, I mean, technically it's still a buff. No. With you could previously get to 29% with tainted armor scraps and tainted blacksmith sweatstones. You could previously get to 29%. But now it's 20% because they made it a more multiplier instead of an increased. So it's still more, but anything that was corrupted before, you could have a larger percent number. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but it's going to make it so people who have corrupted items are not going to want to corrupt them and then see if they hit something good. They're going to want to do the quality first. Yeah. Because like what you used to be able to do is corrupt something, see if it hit a good implicit, and then use these tainted things on it. But now what you're going to want to do, if you want the tippy top gear of it, you're going to want to corrupt it after you already make the quality higher. Glassblowers baubles are going to be worth some money, though, this league. That's for sure. They're going to be worth chaos. Horned Cleaver. Apex Cleaver corrupted and mirrored items are now unveiled. Are now able to be unveiled once again. Okay. Oh, some cluster jewel changes. Whetstone and armors are not, no, because they still drop, or you can still trade them from vendors. But glassblowers baubles, if you cannot buy glassblowers baubles, there's no lower end for them, so it's just going to be whatever the market says that they're worth, rather than having the lower end dictated by the NPC. Well, a lot of different changes to veiled modifiers. Yeah, double corrupting doesn't matter for the quality. Usually what people would do is they would corrupt, they would just use, not veil orbs, not chaos orbs. What is it? The corruption orbs on an item and see if it hit a good implicit. And then they could get, and then they would try to hit a higher quality to get a little bit more money for their item. We can't do that anymore. It's a bit of a nerf to Beyond monsters. Yeah, if you're doing it first, sure. It does make it a bit more of a sink for all of those whetstones and armor orbs. I'm not sure I can't remember what they're called right now. Ugh, my brain is slowly losing energy. Okay. Yeah, usage will be the same, pretty much the same. You're just not gonna, it's not going to affect the actual number, like the actual amount of protection you get from the quality, but it is going to affect the actual number that you see. So people, it's a slight nerf because people will just do the 20%. Yeah, that's true. It looks like a bunch of buffs to, well, random buffs and nerfs to different base types. Div card changes. Rebirth has been re-enabled. Now awards a Horned Scarab. Okay. More is never enough has been re-enabled. Now awards a Veiled Scarab. Okay. Apex Cleaver? I'm not sure. Got a buff for damage. Yep, nerfed. Implicit modifiers now hits with this weapon ignore enemy physical damage reduction instead of the plus 40 to maximum quality. Yep. It might be worth it. Ignore phys damage reduction. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Not sure. Not sure if that's worth it. Ruthless changes, we don't care. Essences now grant increased toughness instead of life. And grant them a small amount increase of item rarity, quantity to the monster for each essence affecting them. Ooh, that's nice. The higher toughness, the less damage it takes. A monster with 100% increased toughness takes 50% less damage. 200 takes 67% and so on. Reduced toughness cause monsters to take more damage. Essences got reworked again. That's interesting. Okay, a lot of the overwhelm physical damage reduction is ignore physical damage reduction. Which is a wording change. And they did some telegraphing changes. Not too much on the monster balance. I'm not sure what the old tormented spirits were, but essence is 6 chaos. Whoa. Oh, but it's 4 essences. Okay, that's a buff to essences. Essences are going to be probably cheaper, but still really good to run. Ambush now costs 4. Ambush got nerfed. Harbinger slightly buffed. Oh, very buffed, actually. It's cheaper and you get... oh, no. No, slightly nerfed. Okay. And Breach now causes the area to get 3 breaches. Okay. Yep, helping Creighton 8% movement speed. That's the one everyone's going to be doing. Aramir gets 1 if you decide to kill all 3. The rewarding complete through the Sacred Ground quest is now the Book of Skill. Through Sacred Ground. Okay, what's this one? Oh, talk to the Yena, kill the Jeffrey. Okay, for 1 point. Yeah. Okay, so basically just the you're just gonna have to get the golden hand. So it's in the same place that you have to go to the Ascendancy anyways, so it's not too much more of a burden on people running through the campaign. Different gems that are now offered to people. Static life bars for pinnacle bosses, nice. Waypoints activate automatically as you walk by, nice. You don't have to do it for lab, but yeah, but it's nice. You know, when you're running through the campaign to just hit that. Reservation persists through death, very cool. Can start harvest encounters with a single action rather than 2. Can pick up items using a keyboard and mouse and been increased. That's nice. Scarab vendor recipe now returns surplus scarabs when you vendor 4 more scarabs. Okay. Bug fixes. Any bug fixes you guys know about that are big? Implicit modifier not working correctly. Ooh. Body swap is sacrifice, supported by spell totem, not targeting your minions. Okay, weird. Totems using Frostblink. Cast when you're a wall. Nah, bug fixes are too sad. Okay. Never look at them. Now, sometimes it matters, sometimes not. But yeah, there's been a couple leagues like that. Not too much. Okay. So there's even some updates. Cleave of Rage. Firestorm, Frostblades. Divination Scorp of Curation has been renamed. Okay. New packs. Okay. So a lot of changes. I'm gonna do some thinking about a Bleed Gladiator because that just looks too strong. That looks so strong for this league. So I'm gonna do that offline. Take some time, digest all these changes down. But it was fun going through this with y'all. Thanks, Prometheus, and got him for checking in. I am going on vacation the day, so the Monday after league start. So I'll be doing league start and then going on vacation. So yeah, but I'm gonna see maybe on vacation, maybe I can bring a laptop to log into the game, and maybe I can make my village make all the money for me. We'll see. We'll see. I might be able to do that. Is my wife not going to kill me? No, my wife is wonderful and sweet. She is one of the lights of my life, and I am the luckiest man in the world to have met and married her. Yeah, she's not mad at me for doing any of my gaming stuff. She supports me in it. So yeah, she's a lovely woman. Anyway, yeah, I want to thank you all for watching, checking things out. Please like, follow, and subscribe if you want to see some more of this, where we just kind of go over stuff. Yeah, if you want to talk, you can leave some comments in the description below, or go to my Discord in the description below. Hope you all have a great night. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Maybe we'll have some new Bleed Gladiator stuff figured out. Till then. Bye-bye.